Tune into Jewellery Maker every day at 5 p.m. for our Miss It, Miss Out show, where we'll have 4 hours of jam-packed deals, including clearance offers, end of line, last in stock and low, low prices. The Miss It, Miss Out show, only on Jewellery Maker.
When you place your first order with us, you will receive a free booklet and DVD full of handy hints, tips and tutorials to help you get started with your new Jewellery Maker hobby.
The early bird catches the worm. Don't miss out on your chance to grab our amazing early bird offers at 9 a.m. on weekday mornings. Catch them while you can. There are 2 easy ways to purchase from Jewellery Maker. You can watch our show on Sky, Virgin, Freeview or FreeSat and call our free phone number where you'll be put through to our friendly help team who can place your order. Alternatively, you can go to our website and click the sign up button. Once you have filled in the required details, you can start shopping. You can watch the show by clicking the On Air Now button on the front page. You can also use our quick search tool and narrow down your results. Once you have found an item that you like, you simply click on the Buy Now button and the item will be added to your basket. Don't forget that you can add as many items to your basket per day for only 1 P&P. Enjoy shopping with Jewellery Maker.
Good afternoon and welcome to the welcome to the Designer Inspiration show. In a slight change to your schedule, I will be now presenting the Designer Inspiration show. I did promote that I was doing the Miss It, Miss Out show, but I had to jump into the fold. Had a slight scheduling error. Blame Scott, everyone else is. Scott, I feel your pain. I used to be the sales manager, I know what it's like. I know what pesky presenters can be like. Anyway, the important thing is that there's somebody here, and the important thing is that that person is Maggie. She has joined. How are you, Maggie? All right?
I'm fine, thank you. Yeah, I'm great, Ed. Great.
I'm very good, thank you.
It's
Did you have a good hug, Monet?
A very quiet one nowadays.
Really?
Yeah, I know. I should be out sort of dancing around or whatever else.
Dancing around your handbag, dancing around your Jewellery Maker bag.
Yeah, dancing around this, that'd be better, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe we'll do that later in the show.
Maybe we won't film it though.
Yesterday morning, they were making me do my Mick Jagger impression.
Was it good?
It got rave reviews, in all honesty. But it wasn't good. Anyway, enough of my tomfoolery. Let's have a look at what we're bringing you today. We've got a lot of star buys. That's what happens. Oh, I like it. Just stroke that ego. Right, now, what happens is, when you're producing the show, you have to go to the salesman and say, please sir, can I have some more? But when the sales manager's producing the show, you get jam-packed full of goodies. Check these out. The gemstone of true love, rose quartz in gorgeous calla lilies. Look at those. Now the beauty of this is Mother Nature inspiring the design here, because you've got those gorgeous floral cuts, or carvings, sorry. So, you know, always nice to use Mother Nature's materials to create another of Mother Nature's creations. Do you like that? So those are coming up in just a couple of seconds. Before that, I'm just going to let you know what else we've got coming up in the show. Perfect. This is perfect for today. If you have made yourself a New Year's resolution to maybe sell your jewellery in 2014, maybe turn your hobby into a small business, well, why settle for a small business? Take over the world. Why not? Check this out. Always easier to make a sale when you're selling birthstones, because lots of people are going to have those personal connections with the stones themselves. And we're looking here at February's birthstone, but The beauty of amethyst, particularly in this traditional regal tone of purple, is that A, it's going to be recognisable, and B, it ticks a couple of boxes because it's also the gemstone of Valentine's. So synonymous with romance, and that is coming up later in the show. Also, I see something extremely high-end here. Am I right in thinking this is one of the big four? Is this sapphire? Very, very limited edition, and let me tell you what the most exciting thing about this strand is. For me, you may have alternative views. Just go into my thumbs, please. See where my thumbs are? Those orange sapphires are very, very similar to the colours of Padaparacha sapphires, the most exclusive and rare form of sapphire on the market. You're talking about, you know, 4-figure sums for Padaparacha sapphire jewellery. Now, I'm not saying that this is what you've got here, but I'm saying these colours are a great substitute. And, of course, they are still sapphires. On top of that, you've also got the gorgeous green tones, and you've even got a few canary sapphires in there as well as those beautiful feminine pink tones. They're all coming through on one strand, but I have to say, I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm saying limited, there's 20 of them. There's 20 strands of this. Obviously, when we're looking at high-end gemstones, there's a couple of things to consider. One, we're at Mother Nature's mercy. We don't know how many she's going to create. And two, very competitive markets for the big four. All the biggest design houses in the world are working with sapphires, emeralds, rubies and diamonds. Have been bringing you a lot of diamonds, but yeah, I haven't seen brand new strands of sapphires recently. So that's a brand new strand, very exclusive, coming up later in the show. And if you are unfortunate in missing out on the rose quartz colours that I'm just about to do in 1 second, we will have another opportunity to add those beautiful shapes to your collection in the form of tiger's eye. I wonder where tiger's eye came in the voting for the awards ceremony. The only reason I ask is that I know that gemstones that have sort of an optical effect did well. And when you're looking at tiger's eye and that gorgeous chatoyancy, I can imagine this is one of those gemstones that probably came up quite high in the pecking order. I'm not sure. Am I right in saying amethyst actually came second, didn't it? So we've got amethyst coming up. But let's kick off with our beautiful rose quartz. Oh, in fact, now that I've mentioned the amethyst as well, look at those together. Really feminine. These colour tones work together, don't they? The purples and the pinks. Absolutely gorgeous. Because you've got that rich, regal tone of purple against the pastel shade of the pink. Right now, we are bringing you, oh my word. Treat them with a bit more respect, Edward. The code you need is MBGP22. I'm giving you the code straight away because we're so busy today. People are flying in on the phone lines, and that's the way to do it, particularly if you've already got a P&P up and running, because you are going to pay one P&P per day here at Jewellery Maker of just £2.95. We're looking at 170 carats of rose quartz here. To be honest, usually when we're looking at gemstones, it's all about the carat weight. But to be honest, with this particular strand, it's all about the cut, isn't it? Because that shape is so gorgeous. You like these, Maggie? You like to work with things like this?
I've never tried something like that before, but I would imagine that if you put it on a head pin and had something round in the centre.
I'm thinking about the, you know, the round-headed head pins. If you use them and you set them inside, they'd actually then sort of complete the design, because you'd have the little stamen of the lily as well. Incredible. Right, we're looking at rose quartz. Wow, lots of people already on the phone. How many of these did we start with, Scott? We're starting with double figures. They're already flying out the door. Congratulations to Eva, Veronica, Shona. Lots of anonymous buyers. I know why we get so many anonymous buyers on there. People have told me why. Because they're in the other room and somebody shouting through, "You're not buying more jewellery making stuff, are you?" No, 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 anonymous, please, don't display my name, right? Kirsten, you're there, Lorraine, Karen, Jeanette, Jackie, Robert, Claudia, so many of you getting involved. Let's get the price on screen. The code is MBGP22. Whoa, $6.45. When you said under £10, I thought you meant $9.95. $6.45. Beauty of these is most of the work's done for you. All the inspiration's there. You've just got to work the shape into your designs. Oh my word, over half the stock's already been allocated. I've got less than 50 of these available now. People are flying in. Congratulations to Barb, Lorraine, Karen, Jeanette, Claudia. So many of you taking advantage of that 1 P&P per day of $2.95. Lots of new buyers as well, I imagine. Quite a lot of people have been turned on to the hobby over the Christmas period. Last year, this time last year, one of my friends contacted me and asked me to get his wife, you know, a big bundle of items, and now she makes jewellery all the time. I went to see her recently and everything she was wearing she'd made. So in just a year you can see how far you can take your hobby. How long have you been making jewellery for, Maggie?
5 or 6 years, I should think. Okay. Yeah.
It's an addictive hobby, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And it's also quite portable, so if you're making something, you can carry it around with you and do it in the train, or you can bore your friends by doing it at their house, you know.
You get invited to many of your friends' houses these days then?
Yeah, I get invited to take along my pliers and fix things that are broken.
Fix their jewellery. That's the other beautiful thing about learning a hobby like this. It makes you a useful entity to know, doesn't it? Because you're like that mechanic that lives next door, aren't you? Mm. You know what I mean? If somebody's got a problem like, oh no, my cufflinks have broken out. Call Maggie, she'll sort them out. MBGP22, we're into the final 20 of this strand now. The item code you need is MBGP22. The price is $6.45, very, very competitive. When you can think about how labour intensive it is to create this beautiful strand of gemstones, and I'm hearing that this would go perfectly with your actual design, that you could maybe use this with the techniques that Maggie is going to show us later in the show. Quite wire-based designs, right?
Yeah, there's two different types of wire.
I think it'd be quite easy to integrate something with this much character into your design, because obviously a lot of your structural work's going to be done using your wire. That's what Maggie's going to show us, and then you don't have to go overboard with your beading as a result of using the wire. So if you've got a gemstone strand like this that's adding all the character and texture into the design, then you can focus on your wire work. The code is MBGP22, 170 carats of rose quartz. It looks like it's going to be a sellout. Congratulations to everybody on the phone lines. Absolutely fantastic way to start the show. We're going to have to move on. We're going to leave that one with you, and we are going to move on. In fact, we're going to launch Maggie's bundle straight away. So this has been put together. Has this been put together in consultation with you, Maggie, or was it like a set brief?
No, it's I suggested some of the strands in it and suggested what I'd like to work with and what kind of style I'd like to go with.
I see. And then you've created the sort of showcase piece around this bundle.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So that's a nice way to work. You know, on the morning show, when our designers get sent kits, obviously we create them with our designers in mind, but we've got a lot of kits to create, so sometimes it's sort of like a blind brief that they receive. But on this occasion, Maggie's actually, you know, consulted with the creator of the kit to let us know exactly what she'd like to work with. So that's going to lend itself to the design, and we're looking at beautiful pastel shades here, aren't we? Is that what you like to work with, Maggie? I
like working with different things depending on my mood, so I'm quite happy working with lots of different.
You're wearing quite a regal purple tone. Is that amethyst?
That's amethyst, yes.
Nice, nice, yes. But
Enjoy
then
amethyst.
in this piece, you've gone for the more pastel shades. Like it. Okay, so you work with anything. So which of these strands were the ones you asked for? Was it the big statement rose quartz?
Big statement rose quartz, yes, and some multicoloured beads to go with it.
Okay.
Yep, and that's what I got.
And then you've got the pastel shades of green here as well, and the classic pearls. In fact, I'm going to get them off this this stand. I'm going to get them over the back of my hand, just so you can see a bit of skin tone, so you get an idea of how they're really going to look when you wear them. There you go, look at this. So these huge statement rose quartz again, if you did just get hold of those calla lilies in the rose quartz, nice to work with them together, wouldn't it? They work really, really well. These rose quartz, they're faceted slabs, but the facets aren't on the surface of the gemstone, they're actually on the outer extremity, so they're actually adding to the texture of the overall gemstone. Really beautiful pastel shade, especially in this size, because they are in fact 31 by 22. We're going to see how Maggie's made a real feature of these huge gemstones within her design, but you know, you don't have to recreate Maggie's design, you may just love the gemstones. These would in fact make gorgeous pendants. Maybe you can use some of Maggie's techniques to wire wrap the rose quartz and use them as pendants. 760 carats in one strand here. I was just saying how we mainly focus on carat weights when we talk about gemstones. Well, that's quite a carat weight, isn't it? 760 carats of rose quartz, and that's not all you're getting. The second strand that Maggie sort of suggested. Who puts these bundles together then? Is it Laura? Is it Becky? Wow, Becky's doing a lot of kit building at the moment then. So between Becky and Laura, they put these together, and Maggie suggested she needed some multicoloured gemstones, and, well, this is probably the most vibrant gemstone strand we have in stock, I would say. You've done well here, Maggie, haven't you? They're like
lovely.
you.
They're great, they're great.
That's what it is. 45 carats of multicoloured crackled quartz. They're faceted rounds, they're 4mm in size. The thing I love about these is they're imitating so many of our most popular gemstones, aren't they? Because you've got your apatite blues, your chrome dioxide greens, beautiful citrine tones. You've got those feminine raspberry colours as well. Absolutely incredible, and really enhanced by the facets on the gemstone, because you get that little bit of glamour from the little sparkle, the little play of light on the surface. 4mm rounds as well, very versatile. You could create beady bead designs. In fact, you're going to see how Maggie's using them to frame the rose quartz. Is that right? Right.
Yeah, I guess
sort of, in a way. But they are just, you've just picked out certain colours. They just make your design pop. Yeah. So that's another way you can use them. When we speak to Mark Smith, he often graduates out the colours, doesn't he, on his strands? So that's another way to work with them. And of course, look at this. This is one that Maggie didn't necessarily suggest, but I bet she wasn't complaining when she got hold of beautiful cultured pearls. And the thing I love about these, as if it wasn't elegant enough, working with the classic vintage gemstone that is a cultured pearl, you've also got that champagne pearlescence coming off this particular strand. These are Baroque pearls, they're 6 by 5mm. Now, usually, we might say in the jewellery world that we value pearls more for being round, but I think when you're making your own jewellery, I think those irregularities almost adding to your design. Again, they're giving you texture, and they're also letting your customers know that you have sourced the real deal, because obviously if you've got perfect rounds, are you really going to have got hold of cultured pearls that are perfect rounds? They're going to be like 3 figures, so you're going to be pricing yourself out the market. Here, no one's going to mistake these for faux pearls. They're going to know they're the real deal. And then, on top of that, perfect combination with the pastel pinks of the rose quartz, you've got your adventuring. It's 50 carats in plain rounds. Again, 4mm, so very versatile strand. Perfect for framing your soutache as well. Now, I did mention that Maggie is going to be focusing on a lot of wire work, and we have given you the wire here as well. You've got your 10 metres of your 1mm gauge, mostly used for structural work. Is that correct, Maggie? Just to...
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I keep distracting Maggie. She's trying to concentrate on getting set up for the demonstration, and I keep speaking to her. Do you know what? I haven't done a Designer Inspiration show before.
Have you not?
No. It's my first
You're too
one.
busy in the evening, aren't you?
I know, I normally do the Miss It Miss Out show. I've done quite a few morning shows, because first reserve, isn't it? People are ill, they come to the big dog. So I've done a few morning shows, but you know, the girls in the afternoon, they always turn up basically, so I never get a chance. So this is your 10 metres of your 1mm gauge, probably one of our most popular colours in the gold. And we've also got the fuchsia coloured wire, and this is in your 0.4mm gauge. So that's at the other end of the spectrum. That's for doing your detailing. And the gold wire in the 1mm is for doing your structural work. We'll see exactly how Maggie's used them together to create a really impressive look. So this is everything you're going to get as part of your Designer Inspiration bundle. Easy for me to say. So Maggie's helped to put this together. It's known as Floral Bouquet. Very appropriate. Now, if you were to buy all of these items separately from our website, which I'm guessing lots of people do because they're all very popular items, it would cost you over £37. But today, wow, that's nearly a half price offer. So normally it'd be over £37. Today we're doing it for under £20, just £19.95. The code is RDGC98. And if you want to get involved, you need to start dialing right now. Don't forget, we've got a free phone number here at Jewellery Maker. It's very easy to get involved. Of course, we've got our new look website. Very user-friendly. You can just watch the show live, and all you've got to do is click to buy now. So click one button, and you've added this to your basket. Obviously, you've got to go through the checkout process. Otherwise, this could get snaffled away by a sneaky phone buyer calling on the free phone number. 1 P&P per day of £2.95. Now, I used to say that I sort of understood that this was a slightly removed shopping experience because people are used to going to the shops, they have their own time to decide. But after going to the high street on Boxing Day, I'm not going out ever again, to be honest. I've totally changed my mind. This is the only way to shop. I'll tell you why. It cost me more just to get there and park than I would have spent on the P&P for other websites. I'll tell you what I did. I went to look for certain items on Boxing Day, and I took the kids. It was painful. So I got Freddie being a pain. I had to buy them drinks. They wanted to buy fast food, which I don't really like, but just keep them quiet. Ended up doing that, so that cost me more money. I was there for less than 2 hours in this shopping centre. They charged me £4.40 for the car parking. Cost me about £6 to £7 in petrol. So it was over £10 before I'd even started shopping. And once I got there, I didn't find anything I wanted. Came home, sat in my living room. I looked on my phone, found exactly what I wanted. It was £5 P&P, and my jeans arrived yesterday, hassle-free. And you know what, they even sent me, you know, normally when you've got deliveries, it can be a bit annoying to think, oh, I don't know when it's going to turn up, I'll have to let my neighbour know. They sent me a text saying it'll arrive between 12:12 and 1:12. How accurate. Yeah, and do you know what, it did arrive in that time as well. And I think we do that service with our delivery as well. So there you go, absolutely hassle-free shopping here at Jewellery Maker. And the P&P won't even cost you £5 like it did for me. It'll cost you £2.95 and 1 P&P per day. If I'd ordered 2 things to that website, it would have cost me £10. Here, 1 P&P per day. The code is RDGC98, your designer inspiration. Maggie Jones, featuring rose quartz, pearls, multicoloured quartz, and your adventurine, as well as 2 reels of wire for £19.95. It usually costs £37, but you're not watching to listen to me. You're watching for designer inspiration from Maggie, aren't you? Did you have a nice Christmas?
I did, thank you. What about yourself? Well, apart from Boxing Day.
Well, Boxing Day was horrible, but that was the only day I had off work.
Oh.
Even Christmas morning I was here.
You were?
Standing right here. Well, did you watch it?
I watched parts of it, yes.
Nice one, you can come again. even on Christmas Day, people can't help jewellery making. Did you make any jewellery on Christmas Day? Tell the truth.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you had a day off.
I had a day off.
I
looked. I did look and consider it, but I had a day off.
You had a day off. Did you do the cooking on Christmas?
Of course, yes. Well, Mother half helped as well. Yeah.
So you say, of course. I did the cooking in my house, and because I was here, I went out for the first time ever. I went out for Christmas dinner. I'm never cooking a turkey again, I can tell you that. I'm going out every year. Did you enjoy it? It was good, yeah. It was really good vibe as well. Everyone was in good spirits. Mainly because we were the last to arrive at the restaurant. So everybody else had... Everybody had drank bottles of champagne by the time we arrived. It was quite good. Right, anyway, Christmas is over. It's time to turn our attention back to crafting. particularly if you have made yourself a promise to turn your hobby into a small business in 2014, and what you need is inspiration. Let's have a look at this gorgeous showcase piece. Mate, what was the inspiration for this? Because obviously you had something in mind when you requested the strands.
I'd done something similar a while back using sort of long teardrop shapes.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I wanted to get a similar effect, but not necessarily with the teardrop shapes. So, but I did want some big, chunky pieces of rose quartz.
That we normally classify them as. And
so
yeah, it's quite interesting shapes, aren't they?
They are nice, and they're good to work with. As you said earlier, just using one as a pendant would be lovely. You could probably use one of those with the sort of beads round it as a pendant quite easily. Yeah.
So almost use the framing technique.
In a way, yeah. Very simple to do though. It's not complicated.
Looks incredible. The other thing I was going to say, sorry to interrupt, I was just going to say, I've been talking loads over the Christmas period about when I'm looking at fashion designers' pieces of jewellery, they're using these sharp angles to create dynamic pieces of jewellery.
Yeah.
And this fits the bill perfectly.
That works in with it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Sorry,
so
what
using
were
those
you
sort
gonna
of triangles and a lot of metal and a lot of the jewellery that's around at the moment as well.
Yeah. So it fits in with the jewellery that is so on trend right now. But there's a lot going on in this design. It's very intricate. There's because you've got the bright colours, you've got those sharp edges, but you've got the pastel shades softening it up, haven't you?
Yes.
So where did you start with this, putting this together?
I started, when I do design work, I start with sketching, so I do lots of drawings and score them out and pencil them back in again. So I started off in that way. And you find, of course, that designs evolve as you go along. So I started with the idea of having the gizmoed coils of wire around the bottom pieces. So that's the three pieces, the two pieces on the outside.
So you've got a bit of
bottom.
undulation there. They're not totally set in stone. If I just lift it a little bit, you can see how the rose quartz actually move inside those little frames.
So those have been done in two different ways. The two on the outside have used the gizmoed wire, and the one in the centre is just using ordinary wire.
Okay.
So I started off by creating a length of wire on the gizmo. I'm sure many of your viewers will know now what gizmoing is.
Yes.
For those who don't know, it's using this little gadget here. And you have your wire on in this case on a reel, and you have this rod.
Glasses on, she means business.
I can't see a thing otherwise. And so it's just a case of turning this, and the coil forms perfectly uniformly, very, very easily. Tension works as well. So this is the narrowest one, the narrowest rod.
Oh yeah, so you've got varying sizes of holes down the side, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're in the narrowest one, the smallest.
So I'm in the narrowest one for this one. To get an idea, that's sort of the narrowest
rod.
Help! What word am I saying?
Narrowest rod available. Is that right? Is that am I saying the right words for you?
So I needed about 8 centimetres of the ready prepared one here, and I reckon that 2 metres of wire gives you 10 centimetres. 2 metres of 0.4 wire gives you 10 centimetres.
And you get 10 metres on the reel.
And there's 10 metres on here.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is cut this down.
So you could create 5.
You could, yes.
The reason I have to say that is I'm after Rachel Riley's gig on Countdown, so I have to do any mental arithmetic I can. Watch your back, Rach. I'm such a buffoon, aren't I? Right, so we've got 8 centimetres of pink coiled 0.4.
Yes, I'm just going to cut that down a little bit. You will end up with a tail that you'll need to get rid of. So just snip into the coil, and first coil and get rid of that one.
Be careful when you do that.
And be careful when you do it so it doesn't land in the cat's dish or
Ben's
something.
eye.
Or in Ben's eye, counting along 8 centimetres about here. And again, I'm just going to snip that little end off and hopefully not get Ben this time.
You're just using one of those
my eye.
Oh, she did warn you. You should have put your goggles on. She's using a little fabric measuring tape there. Most crafters are going to have one of them.
Yeah,
they're
pennies,
great. Aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. You get them for nothing. Yeah. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this gizmoed coil onto this little wire frame that I've made here.
I see.
So that little wire frame is made by taking one of the quartz slabs and tracing around on a bit of paper. So really you can just get that, and then you can, you can put the wire on the, oops.
You just do this by handy, this sort of free form?
Well, obviously use pliers.
You're using your pliers, sorry.
And so hold it on there and bent it round. Yep.
Yep.
And for the very top bits, you want them to bend upwards, so you can then coil them round. So we should have, and then bend that upwards. Okay. So you need 2 of those. That's a bit rough and ready. That would need to be improved upon, really.
You're going to have more time if you're at home. Obviously, we're on TV. We're against the clock.
So that one's a little bit better.
Okay.
So it's fairly simple, just to thread this on. So you just slide it on and slide it around.
Okay, so it's quite springy then, the 0.4, especially once it's been gizmoed.
It is, isn't it?
It seems quite flexible just to go around there, yeah. Okay, cool. So I was thinking it might be quite stiff when she called it, and I think the 1 mil does go quite sturdy, but the 0.4 keeps it sort of malleability, which probably isn't a word, but.
So it also softened the edges, so when you make your frame, this has actually worked out quite kind of round rather than having that angular shape.
The edges, right, okay.
So I'm just going to bend it a little bit more to exaggerate it in a couple of places.
So that's what you see all the time when you're wire working. You can always go back, rework the wire. It's
to a certain extent, yeah. Don't want to be reworking it forever, because otherwise
it'll weaken, won't it, if you do too much, yeah.
And I'll just bend that one a little bit more as well. Right.
Okay, sorry to interrupt while Maggie's demonstrating. I'm just going to let you know that the bundle itself has now gone into limited availability. We've got less than 20 left in stock. The code is RDGC98. This is your designer inspiration, your floral bouquet featuring rose quartz, multi-coloured quartz, pearls and your adventurine, as well as 2 reels of wire. Normally on our website, if you were to buy these items individually, it would be £37. Today you can get it for under £20, and to be honest, these are almost essential items really for everyone's stash. You've got the pastel shades, you've got those statement rose quartz, you've got classic pearls, and you've got 2 gauges of wire, which are very, very useful for all wire workers. So £19.95 is a real steal. But sorry, we'll go back to the demonstration. I just wanted to let everybody know, because they're telling me it's...
Yes, what I'm doing now is I'm just doing some very simple wrapped loop on this rose quartz slab. I'm using the pliers about 1/4 to 1/3 down, because I want them to actually slide along that piece of wire at the bottom.
Sure.
Otherwise I wouldn't be able to put it together. So the head pins I'm using are fairly short, so oops, they're never quite as easy to work with. I always think when you're using wire, it's better if you can use more rather than less.
You can always snip it away, but if there's not enough, yes, of course. I can imagine that being really frustrating as well. If you're like halfway through the design, you're like, I haven't got enough wire, I have to start again. Right, now if you look closely, if you're to look closely at those fuchsia wraps, the outside what I'm working on at the moment. I'll just put it there just to highlight it.
You'll see also that I've got some pearls and some of the aventurine on the wrapped around the
It's a gorgeous combination, isn't it? Those pastel shades, and then you get the champagne pearlescence as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fuchsia really stands out then, doesn't it? Gorgeous.
So what I'm doing here is to try and soften that fuchsia, because I felt it was really bright and there's a lot happening.
It is, yeah.
So I thought to try and soften it, what I'll do is I'll use some of the pearls and some of the aventurine and wrap them round. Oh, I've not cut that one yet. So on the little bit of the shank here, just about here, I'm going to wrap the wire around there to start off with. This is a little bit tricky to do, because if you're to look down this other wire, you'll see that you can actually, it moves around quite a bit. It's certainly not a neat fit at all, so you've got quite a bit of play. So I'm just wrapping this round here.
Again, that 0.4 wire, it's so easy to work with, isn't it? It's wrapped around there so easily.
It is very malleable, yeah. I'm going to just pop the end in the coil, then it saves me having to worry about.
Producer Scott saying it is very bright tone of wire, isn't it?
Isn't
So I
it?
think, no, but I think, you know, you've sort of combated that, haven't you, by using the pastel tones so you can see how it all works together.
But the good thing is the multicoloured multicoloured quartz also has that very bright pink in it.
Yeah, it's got that pop.
So that kind of ties it all together very nicely. Okay, so I've wrapped that round a little bit. It's not going to look quite as neat as the gizmoed coil.
Sure.
So it's going to look a little bit more
Well, it's pretty
more
close,
messy.
Maggie.
But hopefully
Whoa! I just went to grab the strands in case we want to talk about them. I nearly lost the strand.
So on this, I'm threading on a pearl and an aventurine, and I think I've threaded on 4 of each.
Yes.
Can you find yet?
That's what I see on your finished piece, 4 of each. So they all go onto this one length
So
then?
they're going onto this one length,
Okay.
which was about, what did I cut it at? About 15, yeah, but no, it's more than 15, but 20 centimetres.
20 centimetres. Just feed them on alternatively, so a pearl aventurine, pearl aventurine, yeah.
1, 2, 3, and that's my 4th one. Right. I'm just going to bend this up at the end so it doesn't, so they don't fall off.
A little kink.
And then it's a case of wrapping them round. So you need to decide which is going to be your front, because you don't want those to go on random. Right. So it's putting a pearl on, making another little wrap.
Oh, I see. So now you're deciding. I see. Sorry, I misunderstood before. So you're deciding that that's going to be the front face of the actual frame.
So you make sure that
so
the bead goes on the front of the frame. Yeah.
Got you. And then
And
are you just placing them and then?
Just placing it and then wrapping the wire around another time.
And then they're getting secured in place.
And that secures them in place. It also takes away from the kind of uniformity of the gizmoed coil.
Yeah, so then
So
giving
that
it
means
a bit of texture.
So it gives a bit of texture, yeah.
And it makes it feel more like a designed piece rather than, you know, like a machine sort of piece. Yeah, exactly.
I guess that's the danger of something as perfect as a gizmoed coil.
Yeah.
In some cases, on many occasions you do want it perfect. You want it to look just absolutely spot on.
Yeah.
But sometimes you're quite happy for it to be not quite as perfect.
Sure.
Right, I've
Well,
run out.
that's the beauty of handmade jewellery, isn't it? Because you do get those slight irregularities, that you know, non-uniformity, if you like. So then you know that you've got something bespoke.
Right, now I've just realised I've actually cut this pink wire, the wrapping wire, to the wrong length. It should have been 30 centimetres.
Ah.
I'll just cut another little bit.
So could you just cut another bit and work on the other end and put 2 or 3 on that?
Yeah.
I'm getting there.
That's great,
I'm
yeah.
getting there. Do you know what? Wire work's one of the sort of disciplines that intimidates me a little bit, because it just looks like really intricate. But actually, the more I watch it, the more I think it's about experimentation and trying stuff out,
I think
isn't
it is, yes. I think it's really, really popular as well at the moment. Lots of people are doing wire work.
Oh.
And I think it's because you get so many variations on it, so many different things you can do with it.
Yeah, it's easily one of our most popular disciplines here, isn't it?
Well, you get such a great range of different colours and thicknesses of wire anyway. So it gives crafters a lot of possibilities.
Yeah, the scope for what you can create, and also, you know, it makes your gemstones go further as well, doesn't it, if you can work with your wire. But in many of our designs, the wire ends up becoming the feature of the design rather than the gemstone.
Yeah, when I was here last time, Becky was a presenter and she showed me this amazing collar that somebody's made. I don't know who's made it, but it's stunning.
Oh, there's so many
It's
features.
just fantastic.
I can see like one of Rachel Norris's pieces from here. I'll go and grab it and show us it. Is that all right? Oh, actually, Pete's going to get it for me. There you go. The turtle. You know the one. You can see here that, you know, she heavily uses the gizmo. Yeah. But, you know, you can see that the gemstones aren't the feature here. Obviously, the wire work is.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's just amazing.
So just another example of how wire work is being utilised and how wire is becoming the feature of designs.
So I've just snipped the ends off, and if possible try and squash them in, but try and squash them in without disturbing your gizmo coil too much. So that's a rather rough and ready one, but that's the type of frame exactly
you've created. Yeah, is that that's how you describe it. I think the frame for the rose quartz here. Yep. So that's this section of the necklace.
So the next step with this particular piece is to get your round nose pliers and coil round those two sort of stems that are left on it, and then that will go onto the wire. Again, I want this to slide along the wire, so about a third of the way down. Yep, I have to make that. And it's just a simple coiled like that. Yeah, so it's a coiled loop rather than a wrapped loop.
Got you.
Now this one I want to go the other way. So hang on, I have to get my head around this one. Yes, that way. So you've got the coiled loops at the top.
Got it? Yeah. And that's how you're going to feed it on.
And that's how that's going to go into the wire. Okay. So I would do 2 of those, and obviously your slab goes in the middle like that.
Oh, gorgeous.
Yeah. So I'll put that to one side, and I'll move on to the next bit. Now the next bit's very, very simple. Got a little bit of a pattern in there, using the coloured quartz beads.
Getting a bit of colour bang into your design now. Bit of pop.
And some pearls.
Multicoloured quartz.
And I think I've got a few aventurines in there as well. Ooh. So for this I just used ordinary, what you call beading thread. I'm a bit of a stickler, I call it beading wire, just to confuse you.
That's what the owner of the company, Steve Bennett, when he was presenting the shows on the American channel, he was calling it, and he was confusing all our crew because they were like, why? That's the thread. So, you know, like once you get a generic term in your head, you just get confused when you get certain terms.
I think it's also that when you say thread, I think of something textile.
Yeah,
use a needle
nylon sort of thing. Yeah, of course.
Right, I'm just going to get a little crimp tube. I'm going to put it in the end so the beads don't fall off as I'm working this. So that's just putting that on as a stopper, really.
Okay.
Right, now your pattern is up to you what you make. I've written it down exactly. So I had a blue one.
There you go, very Blue Peter of you.
Right, so there's a blue one, and then it was a pearl. So all I'm doing is threading it on. Right, blue and a pearl, then a dark pink.
Yeah, that's right. And then a pearl.
And then a pearl and a dark pink again.
I'm just looking at the final design over here if you're wondering why I'm looking in the opposite direction. Do you want me to move it?
No, it's okay, I can just read it off here, I think. So then aventurine, then pearl, and dark pink, and a green. So green, not the aventurine, green quartz.
It's sort of like a chrome outside colour, I always think of that, yeah.
And another dark pink. You can obviously make up your own design for this.
Yeah, you can use any pattern you want. You could technically just use like all your pearls around there if you wanted, and then
you could, yeah. I took the yellow ones out. I wasn't, so I took the yellow quartz out because I thought they were kind of throwing it a bit. I wasn't so happy with the yellow, so I've taken them out.
Yeah, well, I can see what you're talking about because obviously the pink multi-coloured quartz mirrors the fuchsia wire, and then the green quartz sort of adds as a little sort of juxtaposition between the aventurine, the pastel shade of that, and then you've got the blues as well. They work with that. So you can see how all those colours sort of tie in together, don't they?
Yeah.
The royal blues also are a nice combination with the gold. That's a really traditional combination, isn't it? The blue and the gold.
So what have I got now? Pearl.
That just means you're going to have a load of citrine coloured quartz left over at the end for another design.
So you'd be able to use that in another project,
make a little
you could work
stretchy or something.
Tiger's eye or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that'd be nice. Got Tiger's eye coming up later in the show.
Have you? I didn't know that, folks. That was just incidental.
I'm just a pro, don't worry, Maggie.
Pearl and what we've got, dark pink. Dark pink, pearl, and a green one. Yep. So that's that one there. Yeah. I'm going to just pop a bead on the end, so I've got a little bit of movement, but not a lot. So what I then did was, if I can just remind myself, yeah. So I then took another length of the pink, the fuchsia wire. This time I'll cut it a bit longer to make sure I've got enough without running out.
Oh yes. So we were saying 30 centimetres.
Yeah, it should have been 30 centimetres.
Right.
And I appear to another 30 centimetres. I've done lots of things in 30 centimetres today. Right.
I wonder what it is about 30 centimetres, because
it's
rulers come in 30 centimetre lengths as well, isn't it? It seems to be the done length, as it were. It's the ideal length for so many things.
Right, so I'm going to wrap it round a couple of times at the top, and then I'm going to feed it through the bead. That first bead, so that it just anchors it in place a little bit more. And I'm going to snip it off.
And so the drill hole on those gemstones is quite large to fit through the beading thread and the wire then?
Yeah, because that's what, 0.38 the beading thread, and the wire is 0.4, so that's 0.8 nearly.
Yeah, so yeah, 0.8.
So what I'm doing now is I'm just wrapping it round each bead like that. Yeah. And then moving a bead along and wrapping it round again.
Again, it's like securing the beads, so it's giving it a bit of structure, isn't it?
It's giving it a bit of structure. It's also giving it a bit of delicacy in some ways, because the beads aren't, if you look how solid the beads are here, and then compare it with the fact they're slightly more spaced out on this bit.
They do have a little bit of
so it gives it a little bit of,
sort of.
It just spreads them out a little bit.
Yeah. It allows like each gemstone to sort of be a part of the design rather than it just being a clump of gemstones. Yeah, okay, yeah, cool.
And because we're using the non-flexible wire in this, the coloured wire, it means you can shape it a little bit, whereas you can't do that with a beading thread.
No, the beading thread will just sort of sit limp, whereas this has a bit of hold to it. Could you use a thicker gauge of wire for this, or does it need to be?
Yeah, you could use a thicker gauge. Obviously, I use this because it was in the kit.
That's in the bundle, yeah. Well, what would the ideal gauge be then for this?
I think it depends on the size of your gemstone.
Okay, yeah, sure.
You wouldn't want to go to something like a 1mm with this, would you? Because it'd just be too much.
It would be overpowering, wouldn't it? Yeah. But if you were using slightly larger gemstones, like the 10mm rounds, then you might want to use a 0.8 or something.
And you probably need to use something more because of the proportions, so it actually didn't look kind of mean.
It would look a bit silly, yeah, sure.
Right, I think that, can I just look again?
Yeah, of course.
I think I might have done that twice. No, I've not just done it once, right. So obviously at the other end, you then have to cut off your wire, and again, I'm just going to push it through that bead if I can a little bit, just to hide the end, get rid of it.
Just to give yourself a nice finish.
Yeah, so you don't stab yourself when you're wearing it. It's really sharp, this wire, you know.
When she snipped it, it can be. Do you know how I know that? Because I kept losing my pin when it was remembrance time, and I was trying to put my puppy on. I kept losing my pin, and every day I was snipping wire or head pins to get a sharp edge to secure it on my jumper or shirt.
Right, okay.
See, I'm getting to be a bit of a crafter,
really
Maggie.
good at this,
you know,
aren't you?
I'm thinking outside the box.
Right, so now what I need to do is just finish this off as you'd finish off anything using crimps.
That's one of the first techniques you're going to learn if you've just taken up the hobby. It's all in our Get Started booklet and DVD, just securing things onto your beading thread using crimp beads, things like that.
Right, so those tiny little bits of metal are called crimp beads for those who are new to it. And learning how to put them on the end of a piece of wire is kind of crucial, because otherwise everything falls apart. Yeah.
Been there.
We've all been there. Everybody has, yes. So I'm doing this kind of slightly more unusual way. I'm just leaving a loop by itself, so I can put it onto the wire. So there's going to be a bit of a loop here. And I like using crimping pliers when they're round. So I do have a pair of crimping pliers down here somewhere. So crimping pliers give you, there's a two-stage type of plier, and they give you quite a neat finish on those crimps. And I would use those. There we go. And again, cut off your wire closest to the end as possible.
Tools are so cool.
Tools are so essential. And I'll do the same at this end. Trying to see if I can put this through the bead as well. Yeah, it will just go. You can just see a little tail there. I've used this kind of dusky rose wire. It comes in one of the
I think it's actually I think it is called rose gold beading thread. I had it in one of the kits yesterday morning, actually. Yeah.
Right. And I just thought it fitted in quite well with the pink rather than.
Yeah, it does, because you get that little feminine sort of tinge coming off the beading thread as well.
Yes, exactly. Right. Okay, so that's that kind of more or less complete there. And what I'll then be doing is bending it round into kind of U shape. I've actually made it a little bit long, so we'll get round that. Centre slab. Around those pliers. So this is going to be a very, very simple wrapped loop, nothing much of a, just a couple of times round. The reason I've done a wrapped loop is because those slabs are quite heavy.
Right.
And just to give it that added security.
Okay, so it holds the weight better, does it, the wrapped loop?
I think they do, yeah, less chance of coming apart.
Okay. That's another top tip. That's if you're working with your heavier gemstones, always use a wrap loop.
There we go. Right. Now, I also then made this funny little bail come hanger for it.
See that there, yeah.
Yeah. So that was about that much wire, I think. Yeah. So it's really simply made. Turned a loop in the end. Then, let me see, I'm just trying to remember again. Yeah. And as I turned the loop, I put the loop from this in also.
Into the little, yes, really secure then.
It also means it doesn't fall down. This is definitely too long. It means it doesn't fall down as much onto into the slab. Let me just complete it. And as you can see, there's a little bit of a curve in it, so I use the stepped pliers.
Oh, another pretty cool looking tool there. I like those pliers.
I only got those recently, very recently for myself, but they're great because they do 6 different sizes of loops or curves, and they're different to the round nose pliers because they're not tapered. So if you look at them, each stage will give you a set of spirals exactly the same size. So if you're making
so you could almost create a little mini gizmo effect on those.
You could. So I've put that about part-way along the wire, halfway along the wire hopefully, and I'm just going to bend it up. There we go. So that gives you quite a nice little loop.
I like that.
Yeah. Right.
Nice.
So that's those two.
Yeah.
Well, and when I come to actually operate, put this on, flat nose pliers and twist it
around.
around.
Turn them around, yeah, of course, so then they're facing the same way as your other loops, and you can feed them straight onto the wire.
Yeah. Right. Right, okay, so the piece of wire along the bottom I've put together earlier, and I've used, this is two pieces of the gold and 1 piece of the fuchsia.
Okay.
Yeah, twisted together using twisting pliers.
So that's like 2.4 mil wire in the end. There's 2 lengths of the gold.
Yeah, it is. It's your maths again,
keep that mental arithmetic going.
Right, I want this to be about 13 centimetres long. Yeah. So what I would then do is I'd thread on this one first, and this is why you had to ensure that you're. Let me just snip this end off. When you're snipping this, you've got to be quite careful as well as the flying wire, but you don't.
Will it unravel or anything? No. It's too compact to unravel, is it?
It has a bit of a tendency to unravel, as you can see. Perhaps at this end here, it is unravelling a little bit. Yeah.
I see.
But you've got to be quite determined with it and just make sure you hold this end in your pliers. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
So this is 13 centimetres. See, if I don't do 30, I'm obviously doing 13. So, and I need about 2 centimetres for the loop, so I'm going to cut it here.
Do you always have to be sort of this accurate with your measurements, or could you be a bit? Is that just for your designs and the way you work?
I'm usually just really haphazard with it.
Right, okay, well, on this particular design.
Yeah, this is quite unlike me being so exact, yes.
I see. So this is more of a Delia design. Normally, Maggie does a bit of a Jamie style.
So I want some nice big round loops in the end. So I'm going to put the wire in towards the end of the pliers, the jaws, but I'm going to make sure it's caught there. Do you understand what I mean there?
Yeah.
So instead of having protruding like that,
you've got to have it flush.
As flush as I can get it.
Yes, okay.
And then that's it. Just tell it your boss and wind it round.
Strong Scottish woman there. I've got a few of them in my life. Tell it your boss. No messing about.
So then it would go, that's going to be the front. That's going to be the front.
Oh, I love this part, putting it all together. It's cool.
Do we have a front in this? No. Then that and that. Right, so that's how those ones work. I don't obviously have the third one to put on because we've just done the 2.
We're just showing everybody an idea.
And
so
then you'd curve it at the end as well. Yeah. What I also did was I then put some more of the pink wire, some tiny little wraps of the pink wire, sort of here and here, to prevent them sliding along.
So they became like your front beads in a way.
Yeah, they became like sort of stoppers, yeah. So that's that section.
Completed.
Right. Then the rest of it, there's just really one slightly different technique in there. And that's this here. The rest of it is that section. Right. Should I cut 30 centimetres of beading wire again, do you think?
Probably for the best, do you think?
Let me see if I can. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut 2 rounds of it. This is
okay.
Then you can put it back in the little slot in there and it doesn't get all tangled.
Oh, we were talking about that yesterday morning, how useful they are, because now the monofilament now comes on those same reels.
Oh, fantastic, that's really good.
Because they're the ones that keep unspiraling, so now you've got the little stopper, so useful.
So I've now started cutting it to that.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't have bits lying around all over the place.
Yes. Oh, that's such a clever idea.
Yeah, just because I mean it's not expensive, is it? Oh. You may as well cut up.
We've had competitions on the channel before to give us other uses for it, because people have got reels and reels of it in the house.
Exactly. And it comes in so many colours as well. So anyway, let me talk about this one. So I'm going to just take that off there. So that goes, I'm going to work up here and round and again, yeah?
Okay.
I might make up the pattern as I go along this time, but still no yellow in it.
Keep those pesky yellows out of this design.
I think possibly if I had a colour I was least happy working with, it would be the kind of yellow spectrum.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's going to be a challenge for me now, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
I
So
shouldn't have
now
said that.
I'm going to be speaking to the powers that be and giving you the daffodil bundle for the springtime. But you know what? The interesting thing about yellow gemstones is, I think maybe they're a little bit more difficult to work into feminine designs because of their vibrancy. But actually, I was reading sort of a psychological bit of research, and it was saying that yellow colours actually induce positivity and happiness in people. So I think maybe as we get towards the spring and summer months, people will
Maybe that's
start to
why.
integrate yellows more into their designs.
And then somebody told me once that citrine is actually the stone that encourages you to keep money in your pocket, and if you keep citrine in your pocket, you'll always have money.
There you go. Bit of folklore there about citrine. It's also known as the gemstone of happiness.
That
So
figures.
there you go. We are actually going to have to go to a quick break, I believe. So what we're going to do is, we're going to leave this part of the design there, and we're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, we're going to see exactly how you complete Maggie's gorgeous design. Let's have one last look at this absolute showcase feature design here. We've got these gorgeous rose quartz, beautiful wire, and of course the pastel shades featured with the pearls. So you're going to want to know how to complete it. We're going to do a quick break. When we come back, we're going to see the conclusion of the floral bouquet design. So don't go away, we'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
Tune in to the Miss It Miss Out show every day between 5 and 9 p.m. for our New Year's sale. We'll be going to low prices that you won't want to miss. All stock must go. The New Year's sale. Miss it and you'll miss out.
Tune into Jewellery Maker every day at 5 p.m. for our Miss It Miss Out show, where we'll have 4 hours of jam-packed deals, including clearance offers, end of line, last in stock and low prices. The Miss It Miss Out show, only on Jewellery Maker.
Welcome back to the Designer Inspiration show here on Jewellery Maker. My name's Ed, I'm joined by the lovely Maggie.
Hello.
She's just taking us through this incredible wire design. These huge feature pieces of rose quartz, pearls, aventurine and your multicoloured quartz. And we've already established how we create this section of the necklace. And now we're just moving further up the design to find out how Maggie completed her piece by creating these little frames for the rose quartz here. So we'd cut 2 threads of the rose gold beading thread.
Yes, I'm just going to use one for each one. So this piece here, this length from here to here, would be the same as this length here to here, yeah? So that's using part, it's going to go up, and then it's going to go round, and it's going round the other side.
So it's going to be sort of like a figure of 8, how we're going to do it.
Yeah, I've just added another couple of beads on there. Those pearls are lovely, aren't they?
I love these pearls. I'm a real advocate of our pearls here because the prices are ridiculous.
It's crazy.
If you look elsewhere, you can pay so much for genuine cultured pearls. I mean, these are 6 by 5 mil, and that means they could have taken 4 to 5 years to actually grow these pearls. Now, you've got those slight irregularities, but as I said, I think it sort of adds to the texture of so many designs.
I totally agree.
Pearls, you know, they're classic, aren't they? It doesn't matter if you're 8 or you're 88, anyone can wear a strand of pearls.
Absolutely.
I recently brought a picture in of my daughter at her first Holy Communion, and every single generation of woman is wearing pearls in the picture, even from my daughter up to her grandmother. So that's sort of, you know, primary proof that pearls can be worn. They're multi-generational.
And they're timeless.
Yeah, and you can use them in contemporary designs as well, I think.
Absolutely. I think that's where, you know, where the kind of, dare I say, misshapen pearls. I don't know if I should say misshapen,
Yeah,
but you know what I mean?
Slight irregularities.
Yeah, because they're not perfectly round, so they do look, I think, a little bit more contemporary.
Yeah.
But my mother, you know, like many other women her generation, had her string of pearls that she wore on whatever formal occasion she was going to.
I'm getting a lot of heat off my mum at the moment. She gave me her pearls. I bought her some pearls, and she broke the strand.
Oh.
She gave them to me to get repaired, obviously, working at Jewellery Maker, that's one of the benefits. And she gave me them about 8 weeks ago, still haven't got them back. First of all, I kept forgetting to bring them in, and then I gave them to Sheila, and then Sheila wasn't very well, and then Sheila went away for Christmas, and now I just get phone calls daily like, where's my pearls, yeah? I want my pearls.
Right, so I've added the second.
I'm on telly.
So I've added the second strand up here, and then I'm going to take it back round and back through there again.
Yes. So
Because
then you've got the frame and you've got 2 lengths to go either way.
That's it. Yep. So you've got this kind of shape like that. Yep. Then you'd add the extra, in this case, aventurine and
the pearls and aventurine.
And because it's slightly asymmetrical, it's different on either side.
Yeah, I like that part. You know, I was talking about the dynamism of the current fashion designs. I like that part of it.
So you could play around with that and decide your own proportions on it.
You could make it really uniform if you wanted to, couldn't you?
Of course you could.
It's just
many people do. I've run classes where the ladies that come along really want something that's totally symmetric.
Yes.
Which sometimes I do and sometimes I don't do.
And again here, because you've used the pearls and the aventurine and those lighter pastel shades, sort of softening the design, because then it sort of builds up to this big colour bang piece here with the fuchsia wire and the gold colours. I like that.
But then the little bits of pink down here kind of draw you. You're kind of prepared for your eye.
Exactly,
you might say
it's sort of like
a
little narrative in the piece, isn't it? Because you're going up to this, to a crescendo.
Right, so that's virtually that side there. Yeah. So it's going to look something like that, but obviously with more aventurine on. And then fix it to a chain up there using crimps, and I just used a
lobster claw clasp to complete the piece.
Yeah.
Very secure using that. Because that's your looks like your gold-plated
that's
sterling silver as well.
Yeah, the one you get in the big rolls.
When you're making sort of a showcase piece that's gem heavy, you want that high-end finish, don't you? You want that security as well.
And it's a nice chain that to use also.
Love these chains. I got to launch them. I was very excited. So yeah, those are the little reels, aren't they?
Yes, yes.
So that is the completed piece.
You could carry the beads on round if you wanted, but I didn't have an awful lot of beads left, so that's why I thought I wanted to test the chain.
No, because obviously you use a lot of beads in the design itself, but yeah, obviously you could use beads from your stash to complete the design. So that is your designer inspiration piece, and the code, if you want to add it to your order, is RDGC98. Should be £37, but today you can add all of these items to your order for just £19.95. And I have to warn you, we are now in single figures of availability, so if you do want to add that to your order, take advantage right now. I'm going to have to love you and leave you now, Maggie, because we are now going to launch a star buy opportunity. Do not go away. He used the long intro. You know I'm going to bust some moves. Now, if you, whichever show you watch, we always offer these incredible star buys. Now, they give us 2 opportunities usually. One is to bundle a collection of products together and give you a clearance price. The other is to offer you a premiere strand of gemstones. Now, sales manager Scott scheduled this show. So fortunately, we've got a premiere strand, and it is a very exclusive look here. One of the big 4. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about when I say the big 4, we generally refer to diamonds, emeralds, rubies, and of course sapphires. And that is just what I've got here. Beautiful strand. Now I have to warn you, very limited edition here. We've only got 20 strands available. The code is on screen, so if you want to get involved, you can start dialing now. The code is LNGZ45. We've got 20 carats of multicoloured sapphire. Now my focus on this particular strand has been these sort of orange tones here because they look like Padaparacha coloured sapphire. One of the most exclusive varieties of sapphire available on the market. I'm not saying that's what you've got here, but you do get those colour tones that you'd expect to see from that variety of gemstone. Absolutely beautiful. The rondelles themselves are so delicate, so elegant. They range in size from 2x1 to 3x2 mil, and at that size they've had to be micro-faceted to create this beautiful sparkle effect. Sorry, I've just gotten like drawn in by the gemstones. I'm leaning over the desk. But look how gorgeous they are. Such a high-end look. And if you have started to sell your jewellery, if you started to get those personal commissions coming in, these are the kind of gemstones that, you know, your gemstone connoisseurs are going to be aware of. And if you can offer them genuine sapphire in those designs, that's when word of mouth is going to spread, when you're going to start getting even more commissions coming through, isn't it? The code is LNGZ45, 20 carats of multicoloured sapphire. I have to warn you, a quarter of the stock's already been allocated, so I've got just 15 strands left available. And here comes your price today. $49.95 for 20 carats of sapphire. Now, think about what you're getting here. You can do your own research. Have a look at sapphire jewellery on the web, and I guarantee you're going to be looking at 1-2 carats of sapphire, and you're going to be paying a lot more than £50. Now, of course, they may have a different finish on their gemstones, and of course, you've still got to work these beautiful gemstones into an actual design. But when you're working with gemstones like this, make sure you're finishing the design off with sterling silver, or of course, gold-plated sterling silver. Now, many of us know Mark Smith, the designer. Now, I know what he would do here. He would work out the colours here, work out the graduations, and pick them out and create different designs featuring certain colours. But actually, I'm looking down at this strand, and I love the way the colours work together. It's almost like a little rainbow, isn't it? Now, you've got your feminine pink tones here, almost working themselves into a sort of ruby tone. And don't forget, rubies and sapphires do come from the same family, the family of corundum. You've actually got the canary sapphires here. Beautiful, often mistaken for yellow diamonds. These gorgeous green tones, very earthy looking sapphires that are going to work in so many different designs. And then, of course, those Padaparacha coloured sapphires. Now, to be honest, you only need 2 or 3 of these little rondelles on a shepherd hook to create a beautiful pair of sapphire earrings. And what are you going to sell those for on sterling silver or gold-plated sterling silver? You're looking at least £20, £25, aren't you? So off about, what, I don't know, 12 of these gemstones, you're going to make your money back. The rest is clear profit. I know that those high-end designers are coming in. Right, LNGZ45, 20 carats of multicoloured sapphire for $49.95. Hold on a minute. There seems to be some negotiations going on between the director and the producer. The producer, you're in charge of the pricing, don't worry about that. Let's give everybody a fiver off, because only half the stock have been allocated. We've still got half to go. And we're now down to $44.95, giving you a little bit back, just to encourage a few more of you to take advantage of this incredible deal. The code is LNGZ45. The Miss It Miss Out boys have infiltrated the Designer Inspiration show, and the prices are starting to tumble. We're going to get in trouble now. The code is LNGZ45. Well, you know what? We're only going to get in trouble from Ryan and the powers that be. everybody at home is taking advantage of this incredible, look at Ryan, he's crying into his hands, he can't believe it. Listen, let me assure you, Ryan, and everyone at home, we're not trying to devalue gemstones, that's not what we do here. We're the Genuine Gemstone Company. What we are trying to do is represent the best value on the market, and we do that by bringing you the best quality of gemstones at the best possible prices, prices that you love. $44.95 for 20 carats of beautiful multicoloured sapphire. Very, very limited edition, so if you do want to get hold of those, we started with just 20 and we've got less than 10 available now. LNGZ45, but let's move on. We're going to give you another incredible offer. And this time, moving on to Praenite slabs. Now these are the trapezoids, top drill drops. The thing I love about this gemstone is it's going to be perfect for your spring collections because of the pastel shade, but so much character to your designs from the gorgeous inclusions. Look at those. Love these. Got these lime green tones almost flickering across the surface of those pastel shades of Praenite. Over 500 carats on this strand alone, and actually, again, these would work quite well in Maggie's design that we saw, because we've got those same pastel shades, obviously the alternating. So what you could do, you could use these as the feature slabs, and then you could try and get rose quartz little rounds and frame it using those. So there you go. Even more inspiration. The slabs themselves range in size from 16 by 13 to 21 by 21, and here comes your price this afternoon. Under £10 for 540 carats of Praenite. Now again, you've got the faceted slabs here. So you've got that play of light on the surface, adding glamour to your designs. HBGP50, 540 carats, available right now while stocks last for $9.95. I'll leave that one with you. We're going to move on. Ooh, love it. If you got hold of that strand, then you need this. They're going to work so well together. You've got Praenite again, this time in your rounds. Incredible. I love this. Oh, do you mind if I just focus in on one gemstone? I always do this, fall in love with this one. Look at the inclusions here. You can add so much texture. To be honest, if you do love wirework, you could create a beautiful wirework ring around the feature of this gemstone. Obviously you want the inclusions facing upwards, so you're getting all the character and texture from this particular round here. We're looking at 300 carats of Praenite here in your high polished, beautiful plain rounds. They're going to give you a real high end finish. They work so well with those slabs. The code is EJGP23, and here comes your price. $7.45. Told you. Miss it, miss out prices in the Designer Inspiration Show here today. EJGB23, $7.45. Oh, just put those away. Beautiful plain rounds. We're going to leave those ones with you, and we're going to give you more incredible offers on gemstones. Can I make a request? Can we do number 16? I haven't had many opportunities to bring you your favourite gemstone. The multi-award winning Labradorite retains its title. Look at this. This is not in this box. Is it HQGP? Can't be, surely. Cloudy colours. Look at the lavender essence here. Oh, don't tell me we've got the wrong strand. Can't bring that to you until we find out the code. So let's move on. Let's give you another offer then. We're talking about designer inspiration. We've got some findings here in box 20. Should we do these? Because these are sterling silver findings. Where's me tweezers, eh? Here we go. Ryan's bringing them over to me. Now, we all know how talented I am with a set of tweezers. Maggie, you know earlier you were talking about when you snip your wire and watch it doesn't fluff. Everybody knows they've got to put their goggles on when I start trying to use a pair of tweezers. I am terrible with tweezers. I don't know why. Everything flies all over the place. Haven't got any top tips for me, have you?
Yeah, could you try a pair of reverse tweezers? So instead of holding them tight, because I guess the pair you've got to actually hold them tight. But
Quite tight, yeah.
You can get tweezers that work the other way around.
I see.
They actually hold them in place for you, so you don't have to keep any pressure on it. I think they're called reverse tweezers, something like that.
And the perfect time to mention those, production manager Chloe's just stepped on the desk. Get on it. I need a pair of reverse tweezers. Yeah, it's going to speed up the Miss It Miss Out show no end. Oh, she's saying she hasn't got the budget for a pair of reverse tweezers for me. Stick with what we got. We're looking at 925 sterling silver. Now these have been classified as clamshell beads, but I've seen a lot of people using them as crimp bead covers themselves. So you close them around your crimp bead, gives you a really professional finish, but of course they do work as a feature bead once they're shut. And the other beautiful thing about these is you get a little loop on them as well, a little feature. So you can actually, well, you could use them upside down. You can actually hang a gemstone off them, or of course you can use them to feed onto your thread and use these as maybe an accent to a gemstone. These are genuine sterling silver. It's a very high-end look. The code is GMGP98, and this is basically, I would say, a trade show style offer, because we've got 50 of these in total. You can see there. Not very attractive in the bag. But we as crafters understand that the most important thing is to get hold of our wholesale offers, take advantage of them, get our findings home, because we do not want to experience the frustration of not having the finding we need to complete our design. The code is GMGP98. Let's have a look at our price for 50 of our clamshell beads or crimp bead covers, depending on how you want to use them. $7.95, and that is for 925 sterling silver. And I always like to mention the fact that this is important not just for jewellers and jewellery makers, but for everyone really, because the prices on precious and semi-precious metal fluctuates from hour to hour. I don't know how those fluctuations are going to change over the coming year. Who knows when we'll be able to bring you these prices until, of course, you know, we are at the mercy of the world's financial markets when it comes to 925 sterling silver. So take advantage of these prices while you can. Just $7.95 for 50 of your clamshell beads. The code is GMGP98. But we're going to move on. Where, sorry? Okay, sorry. So, wow. Now we've just seen some incredible inspiration from Maggie, and she requested in her bundle that she had some multicoloured gemstones. Check these out. These are one of the most vibrant strands I've ever seen. You've got these daffodil yellows here, your amethyst purples. Now these look like rose quartz, so they've got a little slight pink tone to them. And then you've got those colour bang from the fuchsia toned cubes here. Now you've got those apatite blues, they're sky blues, and actually, yeah, good point. Direct to close just saying, you've got really zesty, almost citrus-like feel from the yellow tones. That's what Maggie's going to be working with on her next project, yellow gemstones. We're going to give her a challenge. Colours which promote happiness and positivity. So this could be perfect for your spring collection. And the other thing that's really useful about this strand, going by current trends, is that you've got those cube shapes, so you've got those sharp edges that are being used in so many fashion designs, giving your designs a bit of a dynamic feel to them. 160 carats here in your 6mm crackle quartz cubes. The code is BUGP62. Let's have a look at your price. $5.95. I told you, miss it, miss out prices on the Designer Inspiration show now that Liam and I are here. BUGP62, 160 carats for just $5.95. Another what I would describe it as an add it to your order price. If you've already got your P&P up and running for just $2.95 per day, you can add these really vibrant colours, really dynamic shapes in your multicoloured crackle quartz cubes for just $5.95. The code is BUGP62. Take advantage while you can. A lot of these strands are actually limited in availability, so add them to your order as quickly as possible. BUGP62, 160 carats for $5.95. We'll leave those ones with you. We've got a lot to get through. We're almost going at miss it, miss out pace here now. I like it. Look at these. Do you know what? These are going to go so well with one of our star buys coming up later in the show. Look at this. February's birthstone. The perfect time to stock up on these if you are intending to go to a few craft fairs in the early part of 2014. Stock up on your birthstones. Amethyst here. Now, you're not getting those just yet. You've got to wait for those, but we are giving you the opportunity to add 100 carats of your puffy ovals. And do you know what? These would look gorgeous in earring designs, or I'm looking at those, I'm thinking they'll be really comfortable in a bracelet design. Now, ignore my hairy wrist. You're going to have a feminine wrist. It's just the best way to display them, so my apologies. But the code is CBGP05. I can imagine those, in fact, even in just a stretchy bracelet. And at the price we're going to offer them to you, these are going to be a real profit maker for you. This is a brand new strand of February's birthstone. Gorgeous amethyst, the gemstone of Valentine's, synonymous with romance. These are 10 by 8 mil. And let's have a look at our launch price for 100 carats of amethyst puffy ovals, under £10. Again, representing the best possible value on the market. That's why we win awards for being the best gemstone supplier out there. CBGP05, 100 carats of amethyst. And the other thing to consider is, I know how popular these are, because it was actually the runner-up in your favourite gemstone to work with of 2013. Picked to the post by Labradorite. But actually, it worked really well with Labradorite. Now, I don't know if we're going to be able to bring you this strand, but look how well they work together, because you've got the electric blue Labradorescence being picked out by those gorgeous purple tones. Obviously, we can't bring this strand to you, unfortunately, but we know that you've all got Labradorite in your stash. So it's really easy to work with amethyst and Labradorite together. So your two most popular gemstones in one design. That would be really hot. We're going to move on though. Now, if you like to add a bit of warmth to your designs using gemstones, this could be the gemstone for you, because we're looking here at red agate. And look how much glamour. Now I was just thinking, this has got quite a lot of golden and tangerine tones for red agate. It's because it's not red agate. Very, very similar. It's just been classified a colour tone down. This is burnt orange agate. But do you know what? It's all about the faceting on this. Fell in love with the colour at first, but look how much glamour you get from the faceting. It's almost like working with those tones of lava. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be a real fiery tone to your designs. And you can see there that we've just pulled out a little bit. We've come further away from the strand. Look how much sparkle you're getting. It's literally like walking down the red carpet. The paparazzi flash is going off. You're getting so much sophistication and sparkle from this particular strand. Those facets, and they're very, very uniform as well. You can see that this has been cut by one of our most experienced lapidarists to create this beautiful checkerboard faceted look on the surface of the gemstone. We don't usually see our agates being faceted to this standard, do we? BEGP08, 100 carats in total, 10 mil hexagons. Again, you've got those sharp edges as well, bringing an extra dynamic to your designs, which are very on trend right now. BEGP08, here comes your price this afternoon. Whoa, exactly £7, no messing about. Look at that. Do you know what? Again, you could almost pick out the more similar tones here, maybe those golden colours, those honey tones, and just create matching pairs of earrings. You'd only need two to create a pair of earrings. And that means these are going to end up being a real profit maker for you, because, you know, a pair of agate earrings, maybe £4 or £5 at a craft fair. Look how many gemstones you've got. For £7, you only need 4 of them to make your money back. The rest is, oh, my apologies, the rest is pure profit. BE GP08, your 100 carats of burnt agate, available right now for £7, but only while stocks last. Now, moving on now to another gorgeous tone. You have still got those tangerine colours, the apricot tones coming through, but here, on a much more earthy strand of gemstones, you've also got those aubergines, those mauve colours. But here, with this particular variety of agate, this is your stripe agate. So much character coming from this gemstone due to that unique banding on each and every gemstone. Look at that. Oh, I love this one. Do you know what? It almost reminds me of, you know, when you see like meteorological maps where you see like all the fronts and that coming in. That's what the banding looks like on this. So like cloud formations, things like that. Oh, it reminds director Chloe of the Grand Canyon. But that's the thing, isn't it? Really unique looks to each and every gemstone, and it evokes a different memory to each and every person. So that's the beauty of working with genuine gemstones, isn't it? Over 200 carats here of your burnt orange, this time in your stripe agate. These are slightly larger, these are your ovals, they're 17 by 12 mil. So you're getting over 200 carats on one strand here, so bigger gem weight, slightly larger look. The code is BBGP76, and here comes your price. $5.45. I told you we're not going to mess around. Not now we've got a miss it, miss out producer sitting in the seat. BBGP76, over 200 carats of burnt orange stripe agate in your beautiful ovals with all that gorgeous banding. Available right now for $5.45. Another profit maker really here. And because of that puffy oval shape, again, I think these would make really comfortable bracelets. You only, and because of the size, you only need 2 of them to create a beautiful pair of earrings. So another profit-making strand for you. BB GP76, over 200 carats for $5.45. We'll leave that on with you. We're going to move on. Oh, I can't believe it. Ben's here. He's not on the desk. He's not directing. I should explain. If you don't watch the Miss It Miss Out show, whenever Ben steps in the chair, just by coincidence, I always seem to be selling a strand of multicoloured moonstone, and that's just what I've got here. Faceted rice beads here, just for you, Ben. And how appropriate that Chloe's here as well, because they both love to pick out those dolphin grey tones of moonstone. She's blaming me for stealing her words. I use it every day, Chloe. So, 90 carats of multicoloured moonstone here. Chloe says I'm trying to be her. She, more than anyone, should know that my ego doesn't make me want to be anyone else. The rice beads themselves range in size from 9 by 5 to 18 by 12. So this graduation, again, could mean that a lot of the work's done for you. You could just restrand this. You've got a perfect necklace design. Can I pick out one again? Sorry, I just find it's the best way to show people these optical effects. Look at that. Beautiful shiller on the surface of the gemstone, and because of the cut, because of the facets combined with that almost translucent colour, it almost has a pearlescence about it. Really gorgeous, elegant look here. 90 carats in total, and then look at that. As you move along the strand, you've got a real variation of colours and tones. You don't have to use all of these together, of course. Now that optical effect that you're getting there is really useful if perhaps you're going to sell your gemstones at craft fairs, because often the people you're selling to won't have the same depth of knowledge about gemstones that you do. They won't necessarily recognise the value in what you're working with. But if they see an optical effect, it might just spark their passion and their interest in gemstones. Let them have that connection with the gemstone, And then, of course, it's much easier to sell your jewellery. Now, this is a gemstone that has been set into jewellery for, well, millennia. Originally used in 100 AD by the ancient Romans, and they actually believed that the lunar gods had put shards of moonlight inside the gemstone, and that's what that shimmer was. Now, we know now that there are gemological reasons for it, but you still get that almost magical-like feel from it, don't you? CGSF66 is the code on 90 colours of multicolour moonstone. Let's have a look at our price. $8.95. Absolutely incredible price for what you're getting here. A gemstone that's been revered for thousands of years. And they didn't just use it in its sort of mined state. They actually set it into jewellery, the ancient Romans did, so that even then it was considered to have a lot of value within their civilization. $8.95 for 90 carats of multicolour moonstone. The code is CGSF66. Get in while you can. We're getting busier and busier as the Designer Inspiration show continues. Take advantage of these incredible deals. We're going to move on, and we have been rejoined by Sales Manager Scott. Let me explain. We're doing a very, very, I would say, ambitious charity event as a whole company at the moment, and we're actually cycling from here in our studios to Arusha, but by the means of I don't know, a digital map basically. So we're going to be cycling 24 hours a day. Different members of the team from all over the business are constantly cycling to get us from here to Arusha on a little digital map. So we're going to cycle the distance effectively, and the aim is to raise enough money to build 5 schools in that area of the world. Do a lot of charity work as the Genuine Gemstone Company. I booked myself in to do part of the cycling today at 2 p.m. But then I got a call from Scott saying, you need to get here and do the Designer Inspiration show today. And I said, that's fine. You need to go down and cycle to Arusha. So he's just had to go and do a little stint for me on the bike. How did you find it, Scott? It's hot down there, is it? He's got a little red face. It's hot in Arusha. My word, what's going on in that gallery? Director Chloe just said if you're too hot, Scott, you can always take your top off. My word. Anyway, enough of the sexual tension in the gallery. Let's get back to offering incredible deals. And we're going on to, ooh, I like these. Now these, I've had them before, I think, once on a show. They're white shell. Now the interesting thing about these is, normally when we see these shell and the strands of these organic mineral that is shell, it's always very lightweight, which often people are looking for in their designs. But here, this has quite a weighty feel to it. Beautiful, almost milky luster to these gemstones. Going to work perfectly in your monochrome designs. Just going to match it up with a random strand of black gemstones. This is actually obsidian. And now that I see them together, I really want to see a design with obsidian and this white shell. But any black gemstone, maybe you got hold of some faceted onyx. That'd look amazing with these white shell puffy coins as well. These are actually 12 mil in size. And as I say, they've got a real weightiness to them for a strand of shell. Gorgeous organic mineral here. The code is SBGP66, and here comes your price. Oh, here comes your original price. And do you know what? Just had producer Liam in the chair, and he was too scared to start doing price slash. He thought, I better not corrupt the show. Scott's got in the chair. Sales manager Scott, he's not scared. He's saying, I'm going to give them a little taste of what Liam's going to be doing from 5 p.m. till 9 p.m. tonight. He's taking the price down on this incredible strand, down to £4. Virtually half price. I know there's 5p difference, but from $7.95 down to £4. A clearance offer on your white shell puffy coins. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say this is the nicest strand of shell I've ever sold to you. because usually you've got that frosted feel, it's quite lightweight. This is totally different. It's got a high polished feel, a real high-end look, and a bit of weightiness to it as well. £4, that is an absolute steal of a deal. And you know what's going to happen between 5 p.m. and 9 p.m. tonight? Go on, just one for you. One for Pete. Every single night, we do a Miss It, Miss Out show between 5 p.m. and 9 p.m. And of course, if you miss it, you miss out! Had to give one for Pete, he loves it. Look at him. Little Pete. SBGP66, do you know what? Pete is a very brave man. On the last show we did together, he attempted to do a presentation on a strand. He failed miserably, but no, I'm joking, you did really well. SBGP66, your white shell at a Miss It, Miss Out clearance price of just £4. Grab them while you can. People are flying in on the phone lines. We're going to leave that one with you. We are going to move on. Leave that one there. Oh, over here. So we've got one of these little boxes of findings. Now the most important, well, for me, the most significant thing about these boxes is the ridiculous amounts of chain you get. Look at that. That looks like... Look at that. This is a good judgment. So this is how far apart we need the door frames to get my head out the door. These are the little delicate linked ones, but what kind of length are we looking at on this chain? Must be about half a metre, at least. At least, is it a metre? Could be up to a metre, that one, actually. You've got measuring tape. Of course you have, Maggie. Thank you.
There you go.
There you go. So see, these crafters, they're always armed, aren't they? Let's have a look. 82 centimetres, so over half a metre. Whoa. Getting on for a metre chain there. That's in the little delicate links. Just leave that there for you, Maggie. But you get 2 lengths of chain in this particular findings pack. I'll get the other one out. Much more significant look. So those are the little delicate links, and you can see them here against the larger ones. So this is more of a necklace length of chain, and then you've got 82 centimetres on this one. I'll hold this the larger links out so you can see exactly what you're getting. Now you do get a plethora of other findings in this. It's just that when you're getting 2 different lengths of chain in these varying sizes of links, just think that's quite a significant offer. There you go, you can see there the larger links and how those are going to be the perfect way to complete any necklace or even an extender chain on a bracelet. This would be a nice size of link. So on top of that, you also get your little silver beads. See those there? There you go. So I always think these would make a really nice accent bead if you've got a feature gemstone. These are actually 3mm in size, so quite a delicate size. You've also got your toggle clasp, your shepherd hooks, your lobster claw clasp, and your bolt ring clasps. So basically all the essentials you need. There's everything you're going to get. 106 pieces in total, and you also get the handy little findings box, which, Pete, you'll be pleased to know that I cleverly put down with the handles facing up. Otherwise they like suction, stick to the desk, we can't get it off. Say again, sorry. The lobster claws are huge. I should mention that, in fact, because they're really sturdy. And we saw earlier on in the show, Maggie made a really gem-heavy showcase piece of jewellery, and you need a lobster claw clasp to secure it, didn't you? These will be perfect here. I think these are 9x6mm, but they've also got this little bit of, oh, did you see? What did I say about my my too easy work? So is this, yeah. We've lowered the price. Oh right, I thought we'd already done the lowered price because I looked up and saw £7.95. I thought that was already a steal of a deal. We're taking them down lower. I told you, you've got all right miss it, miss out vibe now I'm here. £5.95, the lowest ever price. Now I should explain, this is actually silver flash copper. Ah, good thinking, guys, good thinking, guys. See, the head honchos are still out of the country at the moment. We've got to take all the advantage we can to give you incredible prices without getting our little back of our hands, our wrists slapped. ID AZ03, silver flash copper. So you've got the lightweight feel of copper, that malleability, but you've also got the high-end look of sterling silver. Now I've got a little analogy for explaining the difference between plating and flash. And it's not 100% accurate, but it just puts it into context. So the difference is, if you've got plating, it's like taking fine and dipping it into silver. If you've got the flash, it's a different micron thickness of silver, so it's almost like spraying it with silver. So it's not actually 100% accurate, that's not how they do it, but you know, it just gives you an idea of how they get the difference in thickness. So slightly thinner layer of silver on it, and then it's classified as flash. So this is silver flash copper down at £5.95. So many of you taking advantage. This is a perfect way to stock up on your essential findings. So congratulations to Jennifer, you're multi-buying there in London. Lots of anonymous buyers. I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. Somebody's shouting from the living room. What are you doing in there? Nothing. Put anonymous. Anonymous. I'm not buying more Jewellery Maker stuff. Congratulations to Joan, Hazel, Robert, Jean, Zoe, Jenny, Mercedes, Mandy, Suzanne, Phyllis, Sharon, Patricia, Meg, Olive. Lots of new buyers stocking up on their findings. You know what that is? People got bought kits, our jewellery making kits for Christmas. They've already created sets of jewellery. They've run out of findings. They've still got gemstones left. They need to stock up. £5.95 for 106 pieces of your silver flash copper here. They're going to fly out the door. Could be a sellout. So take advantage while you can. That's another miss it, miss out opportunity, to be honest. ID AZ03, your silver flash copper findings pack available right now for £5.95. And am I right in saying that tomorrow morning at 9 AM they'll go back up to the original price? So yeah, so take advantage while you can. If you're watching the Designer Inspiration Show, that is an exclusive deal. Take advantage right now because, without further ado, it's time for a star buy! Welcome back to the Designer Inspiration Show here on Jewellery Maker. My name's Ed and I'm very excited to bring you another star buy. Now, often the star buys on the show will feature a bundle of products that we've put together and we give you a clearance price, but not when the sales manager's in the chair. We've got brand new strands to bring you tonight. This afternoon I should say. 180 carats of golden tiger's eye. These are your calla lilies. Now we started the show with the rose quartz variety of these. And we don't often see the golden tiger's eye in these calla lilies, do we? Beauty of these is, because of the intensity of that carving, really bringing out that chatoyancy. I mean, look at the back of here. Look at that optical effect you get. I wonder where tiger's eye came in the running. I don't know if I'm really getting it across there, but can you see that chatoyancy? It's probably our studio lights not really doing me many favours there. I can see it on the surface of the gemstone. My advice is to get these home, see them for yourself, make use of our 30-day money-back guarantee. 180 carats in total. Now the calla lilies themselves are 27 by 14 mil in size. The code is EGGP84. 180 carats in total, and we are going to give you a launch price this afternoon. And what we're going to do is we are going to match the price we gave you on our rose quartz down to £6.95. The code is EGGP84. But we actually launched the rose quartz at £6.45, so we're going to take 50p off. We're going to get them as low as we can. I told you, while the cat's away, the mice are going to play. EGG P84, the lowest possible price we can bring to you on our golden tiger's eye, beautiful calla lily, They've been classified as leaf beads, but I definitely think they have that lily-like shape. I was saying earlier in the show that if you use the head pins with a little round ball on top, you can create the finish to the look by offering the stamen, couldn't you? $6.45 is all you're going to pay for 180 carats of golden tiger's eye in these beautiful calla lilies. The code is EGGP84. People are flying in on the phone lines now. Congratulations to Catherine, Rose, Jackie, Wendy, Joan. Lots of anonymous buyers, lots of new buyers as well getting involved. This is the way to do it. Add these to your stash, get a bit of inspiration from the cut themselves. If you think how labour intensive it is to not only mine and source the tiger's eye, but then to hand these over some of our most experienced lapidarists. Let's just have a look at the actual shape that they've created, the lapidarists here. Oh, they're all sitting the wrong way. You can see there though. We'll have a little approximate count up here, because you're probably going to want to make a feature of these in your designs. You're probably going to only feature 1 or 2 in your designs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you get 13 on this strand. As I say, this is an approximation. All of our gemstone strands are classified by their carat weight. You're getting guaranteed 180 carats of tiger's eye. You may well get slightly less. You might get 12 on your strand. You might get slightly more. You might get 14 or 15. Approximately on this strand you've got 13, so that gives you an idea. You could probably create 12 separate designs. Nice to create a matching pendant and earring set, I think, using these. There'll be a real feature of your design. Gorgeous golden tiger's eye effect as well. You've got that optical effect. Again, it's going to draw attention to your design because of that chatoyancy. So many people still flying in on the phone lines. The code is EGGP84. 180 carats of our beautiful tiger's eye calla lilies available right now while stocks last for $6.45. If you do want to get involved with this, my advice, dial now. You have got your 30-day money-back guarantee. You have, of course, got a free phone number. We've got less than 50 of these in stock now. We started with over 100. They are flying out the door. Over half the stock's been allocated, so congratulations to people multi-buying, taking advantage of that 1 P&P. You're not going to pay P&P per strand. Oh, no, no, no. Per day. Just $2.95. Add as many items as you want to that order, and of course, you've still got your 30-day money-back guarantee. Get them home, fall in love with them for yourself, and if you're not 100% satisfied, you can send them back. But when it comes to an item like this, so unique that we don't see every day, I don't think anyone's going to be sending these back. Who knows how long it will take for us to resource a strand like this. EGGP84 available right now for $6.45. There is a slight queue on the phone lines, but don't panic about that. Free phone number, and of course, we will answer your calls in the order in which we receive them. So stay where you are. Don't forget, later in the show, coming up as another of our star buys, this incredible strand of amethyst. February's birthstone, and am I right in saying, is this 95 sterling silver framing each gemstone? That is a seriously high-end look. This is coming up later in the show. You're not going to want to miss out on that. This is the time to stock up on your birthstones, particularly gemstones, which are coming up at the start of the year. This is February's birthstone amethyst. Very high-end feel to that with the 95 sterling silver. And right now, I'm going to launch one of the most, what I would say, popular items I've ever brought you here on the Miss It Miss Out show. Basically crashed the phone lines the last time I did these, so be prepared. As soon as the code hits the screen, start dialing. You get both sizes, and these have to be one of the most popular findings we've ever brought to you. We've launched these only over the last few weeks, really, isn't it? These are your bronze coloured brass mesh. You know what? They go really well with the tiger's eye, in fact. Got those similar colour tones. In fact, why don't I hold the larger one and use my tweezers for the smaller one? Don't forget, Jones, I want those reverse tweezers ASAP. Look at these. So you've got both sizes here. You have got... You've got 10 of the 20 by 30 mil and 10 of the 12 by 20. These will be so nice in a design for like a little bridesmaid or something. Can you imagine these on a little hair slider or something like that? 'Cause you've got that gorgeous little sort of fun design, isn't it, from the ribbon, but the antique-y vintage look from the bronze finish. That's what I just said. No, I said hair slide for a bridesmaid, but actually in a fascinator design they would look amazing, wouldn't they? Or what, didn't somebody last time I was telling them suggest it make a nice bow tie for their dog? Was it you? It was Ben, I knew it. No, we'll stick to getting the really exclusive findings and using them in jewellery, Ben, not accessorising our pets. Your bronze coloured brass mesh ribbons, you get 20 pieces in total. You get the 2 differing sizes. So you've got the, oh sorry, I'm going to get in trouble. You got the 20 by 30 mil bow and the 12 by 20. These are really delicate, aren't they? So maybe these for your fascinators, these for your hair sliders. Would that be a nice compromise, Director Chloe? Okay, we've got less than 50 of this particular bundle. The code is LHGC05, probably one of the most popular findings I've ever brought to you. And they are just $11.95. Normally, they are $6.95 per pack. So you get 10 of the large ones for $6.95. Right now, you're going to get 20 in total, featuring the larger size and the smaller size. And I'll just hold that up there as well. You get both of these for $11.95. People are flying in. Maggie, do you love these findings?
I think they're really good fun, yes. I think they'd be lovely mixed up with pearls and a bit of rose quartz. Lovely hair comb.
Got to use these with pearls, haven't you? To create a really classic design, wouldn't you? Probably because of the bronze finish as well. But actually, if you did want to create a more contemporary, funky design and you just got hold of those tiger's eye, nice colour combination here, the golden tones with those bronze finish, really vintage look. And also, these are the kind of things that are going to sit so well in those steampunk designs as well, which are really on trend right now, aren't they? LHGC05, I have to warn you, got less than 20 left now of this particular bundle, and they are available right now for $11.95. Again, when you consider what you're getting, it's pretty much an added to your order price. You're going to make your designs so much more popular. LHGC05 is the code you need. And the price is just $11.95. Now I'm going to leave that one there. Now, do you want to do one more sound, then I'll explain a little bit more about the charity event. Okay, cool. I'm just going to push those to the side then so we can fit it in, because we've got a lot to get into our show. We don't want to miss anything out. Where are we going to? Let's just iron them up, actually. I'm right in saying you just get one strand, don't you? Oh, it's just the second sample in the box. Sorry. So, we've been talking quite a lot about amethyst so far on the show, mainly because we've got this gorgeous star buy coming up, but also because it's February's birthstone, the gemstone of Valentine's, and a lot of people are stocking up on amethyst right now, and it's a good idea to do so. Right now we're looking at your pear-shaped drops here. They're 10 by 8 mil in size. You're getting 95 carats in total. The code is ELGP41, and we're going to get a sales manager price on this incredible strand of amethyst under £10, $9.95 for 95 carats of pear-shaped amethyst. They're 10 by 8 mil in size, and what I love about this particular strand, you've got those slight variations in colour tone. Which is just going to allow you a little bit more design scope. So you might like to pick out the similar coloured ones and create a certain design, or you might like that variation within your design to add texture and character to your designs. ELGP41 is the code you need if you want to add 95 carats of beautiful amethyst to your collection for just $9.95. Lots of you flying in on the phone lines to take advantage of that, and I don't blame you. As I say, it's the perfect time to stock up on your birthstones and take advantage of these beautiful deals. Now, we're going to go into a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be rejoining the gorgeous Maggie for a little bit more designer inspiration. You've got another design to show us, haven't you?
I have, yes. Yes,
and you're going to take us through another design here on the Designer Inspiration Show. Now, earlier on, I mentioned that Scott had to fill in for me riding on the charity ride, because we are trying to ride from here to Arusha, or the equivalent of the mileage, from here in our studios. Different members of the team getting involved, and we're going to show a quick VT that explains exactly what we're doing. And is there some information on the VT of how you can donate? Right, so all the information is going to be in the VT. It'll allow you to give to our charitable cause. We're trying to build 5 schools in one of the areas in which we source gemstones. So it's trying to give back and, you know, share Mother Nature's gemstones. See you later.
As we're giving you great savings in our January clearance, why not pass that saving on by adding a small donation to a charitable cause? Collectively, the Genuine Gemstone Company are cycling 24 hours a day for 31 days, equaling the distance from our studios in Redditch, England, to Arusha in Tanzania, all on an exercise bike situated in our Gemstone Museum. For every £20,000 we raise, the Colourful Life Foundation will be able to build a school in the Arusha district. So this is your chance to give back to a community that provides us with so many beautiful gemstones, and hopefully help us break a Guinness World Record in the process. 100% of every donation goes to the cause, so call our friendly help team to add a donation to your order today.
The Jewellery Maker Wall of Fame is where you get to showcase your skills as a jewellery designer. And each week, one lucky entrant will win £100 credited to their Jewellery Maker account, and the runner-up receives £50. If you want to enter your design, just send a photo to studio@jewellerymaker.com, or you can post your photos to Wall of Fame, the Genuine Gemstone Company, Unit 2D, Eagle Road, Moonsmote, Redditch, B989HF.
Jewellery Maker course gift vouchers are now available. You can choose from a bronze, silver or gold voucher. Each voucher is worth a different amount that entitles you to put towards a course of your choice. For more information, contact our call centre on 0800 644 655.
Welcome back to the Designer Inspiration Show. That was a bit hectic. Floor manager Pete was still standing here only 2 seconds ago holding trays of gemstones. Hold your trays up, there you go. You can see. Get in here, come on Pete. You can get them in. Does this one need to come out or is it going in? No, that's going in, that's fine, is it? This is floor manager Pete, everyone. You may recognise him from the Miss It Miss Out show. The reason everybody was getting a bit hectic in the break is that they've suddenly decided halfway through the show to ambush Maggie with a challenge. Wasn't very nice of them, was it?
45 minutes, what can I do in that time?
Well, that's the challenge now, isn't it? That is quite the challenge. Pete, can you come and take all this off Maggie as well? Look,
I'll give you that.
Moving all stuff.
Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah. Just can't get the stuff. Now, we are in fact going to have a look at the second of Maggie's Designer Inspiration bundles. Now, you get all of this wire in one bundle. Oh, I see. So you get the wire in one bundle and the gemstones in another. Got ya. So we're going to start with the gemstones, and this is a beautiful combination. And Maggie and I were discussing this earlier in the show. This is a classic fashion combination of your blues and gold tones, really, isn't it? Maybe inspired by the ancient Egyptians. They used to use a lot of blue and gold, and that was actually brought to them by using lapis lazuli. Cleopatra herself used to grind lapis lazuli up and use it as eyeshadow. So it may be her penchant for lapis lazuli that, you know, made the blue and gold tones so synonymous with the ancient Egyptians. But throughout the decades, the ages, blue and gold have been a constant fashion combination, and that's what we've tried to recreate in this bundle. This is your winter tropics. I like it. I like it because you've got those electric blue tones coming from these beautiful pearls. Again, you've got those irregularities in the pearls. These are actually 9x8mm electric blue cultured pearls. On top of that, you've also got your red quartzite, really easy to work with, and because you've got the puffy squares, really comfortable to wear, I think. 150 carats in total. These are 10mm in dimensions. Then, Maggie, one for us. The National Gemstone of Scotland. That's right. This is 70 carats of smoky quartz here. Beautiful lapidary work here because the facets, they're step cut up the surface of the gemstone, almost elongates the gemstone itself, but gives you real glamour. Look at all that sparkle you're getting. You don't have to be Scottish to work with this. It just helps. If you're, no, I'm joking. Smoky quartz, perfect in so many different designs because you've got those chocolate brown tones, but when you've got faceting like this, you've got all that glamour. Absolutely gorgeous. 70 carats in total. And they've also, do you know what? I've just noticed as well, not just a step cut, but the facets are actually twisted around the surface of the gemstone. Can you imagine how difficult it is when you're working with 6mm rounds to create lapidary work of this standard? It also sort of suggests to me the quality of the gemstone itself. Because would you attempt a cut like that if you weren't confident that the gemstone could handle it? Now, quartz itself is sort of like the benchmark from which all other gemstones are graded in terms of density. It's called the Mohs scale. So we start with quartz, and it's between 6 and 7 on the Mohs scale, and then everything else is either as dense, denser, or less dense than quartz. So it's sort of the benchmark. And so you can see there that the lapidary has been very confident with the quality of the smoky quartz here to attempt this gorgeous cut. So there's your red quartz, and now that I see those together, those really work. Quite autumnal colours there, aren't they? Then you've got your electric blue tones, giving you that icy feel. This is where the winter part comes into your winter tropics bundle. And then these huge, again, almost slabs of lapis lazuli. 370 carats in total. The rectangles themselves are 18x13mm, and it's almost like getting 2 gemstones for the price of 1 here, because those little gold flecks, those little inclusions there, are actually caused by pyrite, aka fool's gold. So if you were to buy all of these gemstone strands individually, you'd be looking at over £25, and don't forget, that represents the best possible value for gemstones out there on the market. And when I say that, I don't mean it's impossible to get gemstones cheaper. What I mean is it's impossible to get this quality of gemstones cheaper. So based on the lowest possible price we've ever charged for all of these strands, the usual price on our website will be £25.80. We're not staying there today. We're going well under £20. The code you need is IYGC28. And you can add it to your order for £17.95. So these are the two things you're going to be saying right now. Either you're saying, I want it, or you're saying, why didn't I get it? IYGC28, available right now for £17.95. Red quartzite, smoky quartz, electric blue cultured pearls, and those are almost a luxury size, aren't they? 9 by 8 mil, and 370 carats of gorgeous lapis lazuli, available right now for £17.95. That's virtually a clearance price on many of these strands when you consider that we're looking at just over £4 a strand. Take advantage while you can. IYGC28, absolutely incredible carat weight here for just £17.95. And do you know what? Earlier in the show, Maggie and I were talking a lot about sort of how classic pearls are, but how you can use them in funky contemporary designs. Well, when you're looking at colours like this, these electric blue tones, they're going to lend themselves much easier to those contemporary pearl designs, aren't they? So this is a really eclectic collection of gemstones here. The code is IYGC28, your Designer Inspiration Winter Tropics gemstone bundle, available right now for £17.95. And don't forget, usually it costs you over £25. So take advantage of that while you can. Lots of people flying in on the phone lines. Take advantage of this price. The code is IYGC28. Now, if you're tuning in to see Maggie's design inspiration, then you know that she's a very, very talented wire worker. She's already given us some, well, a lot of inspiration regarding how to integrate different wires into our designs. And now you're going to need to stock up. You're going to want to try out some of these techniques, and we're about to give you the opportunity, because we're going to bring you 4 reels of wire, and we're going to give you basically a miss it, miss out price. So what have we got here? We've got your 1 mil gauge electric blue coloured wire, and on this occasion you're getting 10 meters of your 1 mil gauge, and you've got your 0.4 mil gauge in the electric blue wire. Let me just turn that way so you can see. Then you've got the exact same in your antique bronze coloured copper wire. So again, playing with that classic combination of your golden tones and those bronze hues combined with those electric blue tones. And again, you've got your 1 mil and your 0.4 mil in your antique bronze. This is actually our most popular colour of wire here. Why do you think that is, Maggie? Do you love working with it?
I think it's because you can use it with lots of different things, and it's not bright and brash. It's very kind of classy looking.
So it's sort of like, because it's a base colour basically,
yeah,
so it's not going to overpower the designs,
exactly.
but it works with everything else. So now I know. There you go. TNGC18 is the code, and you are going to get 40 meters of wire here. You've got your 0.4 of your electric blue and your 1 mil, your 0.4 of your antique bronze and your 1 mil. 40 meters in total. If you were to buy them all separately, wow, £16.80. I was definitely expecting to see over £20 there. Yeah? Jesus Scott just said, do you think I should take it under £10? Don't have to ask me twice about giving people deals. TNGC18, your Designer Inspiration wire bundle, £9.95. Do you know what? Product manager Hannah, who's one of our experts here at Jewellery Maker, is going to be having absolute kittens about that price, but don't worry, she's a crazy cat lady, so she's going to quite like that. Look at the phone lines exploding with people taking advantage of this deal. So you've got 40 meters in total, 1 mil of your antique bronze and your 0.4 mil of your antique bronze, 1 mil of your electric blue and 0.4 of your electric blue, 10 meters on each reel, available for £9.95. Now I know how many of you out there utilise wire within your designs to make your gemstones go further. The code is TNGC18. You need this in your life. Now I'll never say that, mainly because Lucy tells me off for stealing a catchphrase, but when it's a deal this good, it's actually applicable, isn't it? Well done to Rachel, Christine, Catherine, Rosalind, Claudia, Emma, Mary, Carol, Aaliyah, beautiful name, Lara, Gaynor, Catherine, Olive, Elizabeth, Hudson, Phyllis, and loads of new buyers. You know what? People will have got hold of the Wirework Basics DVDs for Christmas, won't they? So they want to stock them on wire. And of course, when you see this incredible design. You are going to want these colours of wire. It is incredible. I love this design.
Oh, thank you.
It looks like something you'd see in, you know, a really high-end boutique. You know, it's a I don't know, a ball gown piece of jewellery, isn't it?
That's a good way of putting it, absolutely. Mm.
Where did your inspiration come to create something this intricate?
Well, a lot of it would have to come from the colours, wouldn't it? Because the colours are great. I'd asked for blue and brown with maybe a bit of orange, and that's great. That's just what Rebecca did.
Look at that. You can imagine Cleopatra wearing that, actually, can't you? Because you know they used to wear those sort of
yeah, she used those Egyptian
sort of collar
collars,
pieces,
which are quite short, and with the droppers
the
on them
intricacies
as well.
dropping off, yeah, absolutely incredible. It's almost is sort of Egyptian inspired in a way, even though you may not have drawn from that.
Egyptian meets Celtic, isn't it?
I like it.
With the swirls and the spirals at the top.
I love it. Absolutely gorgeous. The beautiful thing about it is that because the antique bronze wire, as you were saying, isn't overpowering, you do get the pops of colour from the gemstones.
Yeah.
So you get the electric blue from the pearls, you've got those gorgeous tones, tangerine tones really, or apricot tones.
Aren't they lovely? They feel so beautiful, those particular little...
The little quartzites.
Little quartzites,
yeah,
they just feel lovely.
I always think, whenever I hold those puffy coins or puffy overs, I always think it'd be a really comfortable bracelet. I get it every time I pick them up. I think, oh wow, they'd be so comfortable to wear.
It's a lovely kit to work with, and the quartz, the smoky quartz, it's just fantastic. I couldn't believe it when I was looking at it.
It sits in there perfectly. It gives you that little bit of elegance because of the lapidary work, a little bit of sparkle.
Beautifully done, yeah.
I love it. I love this piece. But it's not about how much I love it. It's about showing people how to make it, isn't it? I should warn you, half the stock's now been allocated on the wire bundle, so get involved while you can. That is an incredible saving for 40 metres of wire in two of the most versatile gauges as well. And if you do want to get hold of the gemstones we've just been discussing, the code for that is at your bottom of your screen. Usually the 4 strands would cost you $25.80, but today you can get hold of them for $17.95, so another clearance price effectively. So where are we going to start with this design then, Maggie?
Right, shall we start with the inside row, the spirals?
These?
And the quartzite?
Yeah, let's do that.
Right, so what we're doing here is we're making a number of little links to start it off with. So they're little kind of twisted links with spirals on either end. And if I flip over to the back, that's the front, so you can see that the quartzite's unobscured. If I flip it over to the back, you can see there's actually a fold in the back there. So there's a number, I think there's about 7 of those in total, which are linked together.
7, yeah. I can also count if you're watching Countdown.
So I've used, dare I say, 30 centimetres.
30 centimetres,
Keep on doing this, 30
length.
centimetres, don't I? And they've got quite a good size of hole in them, those quartzites, so you can actually slide them on quite easily. Slide them along to about halfway. I've just got my ruler, my tape measure here, and halfway through at 15. Yeah. So then what you need to do is bend the wire down in one direction, and this will be the back of the piece, the link, and then up another direction. So you can see that if you turn it over, you've got 2 pieces of wire there.
Got you.
And at the front, you've got none showing.
You've made that look quite easy. Is it as easy as it looks to bend the wire in that shape?
It's fairly easy, yeah.
Oh no, you're not going to make me do it, are you?
Oh, what a good idea. Why didn't I think of that?
No.
Well,
Okay, I will have a go. Look, just because, it is quite, it's quite workable, isn't it? I've probably just messed up that reel, have I? Okay, yeah, so I'm confident now. I'm confident now, yeah.
As I say, the great thing is the hole's large enough, because if you use some of the finer stones you have, then the hole isn't big enough to put 1 mil through it, so this was ideal, brilliant for it. Then what I'm doing is I'm putting my thumb on top there, and I'm bringing this top wire round carefully to form a sort of loop round it, you might say. Yeah. Then the bottom wire, I want to go in the same direction, so they're not actually crossing over, and that goes in the same direction up to the top. Yeah. So can you catch that there? Is up? Yeah. Then carry on taking it round, so it starts to overlap. Yeah. And then carry on with this one, taking that round as well, and stopping about the halfway point. Yeah. So each side has got sort of 2 bits of wire around it. And on the back, you can see there's a slight crossover at the top and the bottom, and that's what helps keep them in place. Then using your round nose pliers, if you've got round nose pliers which, oops, this is about to fall off this one here. If you've got round nose pliers which are plastic covered, so much the better.
Is that because it doesn't damage the wire?
Covered, because it doesn't damage the wire. Yeah, you don't want to squash the wire if you can possibly avoid it. Now, those are quite wide. Another trick is to use either masking tape. Yeah. Or I've used...
Is that Elastoplast?
It's Elastoplast, yeah.
There you go.
It does the job. You can stick it on quite nicely. It comes off easily at the end. So I'm going to use this just because I can get a smaller loop at this end.
Sure.
So fairly near the end, as much near the end as I can get, and just wrap it. The first turn round, just turn it round and keep on turning until you get a circle. Yeah. And then again, nylon nose pliers, and you just begin to work it round. So on this one, as you can see from this finished one, the wires are almost touching. So take it round, grip this in the pliers, and take it round gradually. Don't try and do a lot at one time, just take it round gradually. Right. So that each piece of wire touches in this particular coil. And you just keep on doing that until you get towards the end. It's good if you can make the circle in the middle as round as possible.
Yeah, because then it'll follow that.
It then follows that all the way around.
Yeah.
Yep. And then you're nearly back at the beginning.
I love this because it's like we were saying earlier, then it's almost like the wire becomes the feature of the design.
Yep.
So, you know, and the gemstones are just the accent to the wire, if you like.
Yes, they're used very much as an accent, aren't they? You could say. So I don't know if you noticed that, but I had to flip it over because it's going the opposite way.
So that's a little bit funny.
So I do the same at this side.
Squeef.
Get this as round as you can. I think for people who've not done wire work, this is a great way to start because you can see your design happening fairly quickly.
Yes, that's so true actually, because you think like when things are visual, when you can see them coming together, it makes it so much easier to sort of go with it, doesn't it? When you've got to do all this intricate work and it's not until the end that you see the finished product, it can be easy to sort of think, oh, I'm not doing this, try and give up or whatever, but here you can see exactly what's happening.
I'm just having to flip it around again. Carry on round.
But the 1 mil wire will take that, won't it?
The one mil, yeah, works fine with it.
Okay.
So I'm using 7 of those in total, and then I've linked them together using those stepped pliers or bail making pliers that we talked about earlier.
Yes.
And I've made a sort of a split ring.
Created a sort of a large jump ring. Or a double jump ring.
Yeah, so it's more or less like a little key ring.
Yes,
yeah,
that's it, yeah.
So it's virtually a sort of split ring. I've taken it, I don't know if you can see there, I've taken it beyond, so it's actually 2 complete circles plus a little bit. Yep. Yep. And that's so that when I'm going to snip it off, and that'll make sure that it's perfectly circular.
Yes, got you.
All right. The length of those ones was 7 centimetres.
No,
everything else was there too. It was 7 centimetres in those ones. So when you open it, as I say, I'm going to snip off this end, so I'm not too worried if I mark it slightly. Try and keep it as flat as possible. Yep, when you're sliding it in there. So this was...
Because then you won't lose the shape, presumably.
You won't, yeah. So I just want to pop, there we go.
And then just feed it around like you would a keyring, yeah.
Exactly. It's a good fastener as well, this using this kind of split ring technique. It's good for end of necklaces and lobster clasps as well.
Yeah, well, I've started doing chainmail.
Ooh!
And I didn't realise that you could create jump rings using those plants. I'll have to acquire a pair of those.
Yeah, well, there's six different sizes on them.
Really
so you
useful.
Six
really useful.
Sizes.
And actually, I'm just thinking I could use this double effecting something I'm thinking of, a design I'm thinking of doing. So I've been inspired.
Whoa!
You're ticking the boxes here. Designer inspiration, left, right, and centre.
Now, when you come to put this one on, try not to put it the wrong way around, which I did
You
earlier.
want your quartzite facing that.
Yeah, so you need to make sure you're going to get it the correct way around, and I hope this is right. If it's not, I'll need to take it apart quickly. Squeeze that in there. Pull all the way round.
It's nearly there.
Your pair of pliers.
Unfortunately, it is the right way around. We don't have to take it off.
It's a bit like photocopiers. I can never work out how to put the paper in a
Which way it's
photocopier.
gonna go
when you're going to
round.
double them up
Yeah.
and everything else. Yeah. So I'm just going to make sure that's formed all right, and then snip that very end bit off. It's not too battered.
But we get rid of it anyway, so we still get the high-end finish on them anyway.
So you're going to join together a number of them in that way.
Yep, and
Quite
go
a set.
round.
You
We
just
do
go
7
round.
in total.
7 in
haven't you?
total, yeah. So that's what that one's about. A similar technique has been used at the bottom of the necklace for this one here.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. So, but in that case, I've used the blue wire instead of using the bronze wire, and I've suspended a.
Love that blue wire with that quartzite.
Looks good, doesn't it?
Looks beautiful, yeah.
So a similar technique, I've started building one up already, using the doubled wire in the back and bending it round in the same direction each time. That feels quite strange to start off with the fact that you're bending it around, all of it in this case, an anti-clockwise direction. So I'll just finish this one off. So what's this idea you're thinking about, or is it top secret at the moment?
It's not kind of top secret. The only reason it's top secret is that I'm going to give the design away to a viewer. So I don't want to reveal it all yet. So it's just a way I was thinking of completing one of my designs.
Right, fantastic.
So yeah, I've got to get a pair of them pliers because I'm running out of gem rings. And actually, it's a really the double thing will be amazing for the. Basically, I'll tell you. Basically, I've got a feature like my largest morganite's going to hang down on the necklace.
Yeah.
And I'm basically going to rip you off. I'm going to use that double thing to have it hanging up. It's a really cool idea. I should let everyone know, if you just tuned in, because we've only got limited numbers left now of the wire bundle. It's been on screen. The code is TNGC18, 40 metres of wire. You've got the 1mm electric blue. You've got the 0.4 electric blue, the 0.4 antique bronze, and the 1mm antique bronze, 10 metres of each, and we've got less than 20 available now at £9.95. So if you are a wire worker, really nice colours, really versatile gauges, and a huge saving. It would normally be £16.80, is that right? So there you go, a really good saving there, under £10. TNGC18, the final 20.
Right, so then moving on to the lapis. I've used less than a complete strand of lapis.
Oh, I blocked it off.
I've used 9 of them, and so there's quite a few left over. I didn't count all of them all before I started, but there are quite a number in that strand.
I can always deal with the counting for you, don't worry about that.
Of course, of course. So for those, I've put a little spiral in the bottom on that one.
Okay.
And it's about, how much did I use for this one? I had to write all this down because I'd never remember it all.
It's a very intricate design, isn't it? With all the wire work, the different gemstone, and also when you're looking at multiple stranding as well, you want to make sure the design's going to work when you bring it all together.
And so it hangs properly and everything else, yeah. So we're using 8 centimetres. And about 5 centimetres works for that spiral, and then that just gives you enough left at the top. There we go. To make a little turned loop. First aid for pliers.
That's another top tip, really, because everyone's going to have elastoplast, you know, and if they can't get hold of the nylon pliers, if we sell out, or maybe, you know, they're not in their budget or whatever, it's sort of like you can just wrap your normal round, I suppose you wrap it around and take it off if you don't need
exactly.
it.
You might need to bit of something to clean it with, but yeah. The other thing people use is masking tape, but that wears through really quickly with masking tape. So
that's just a little bit tougher.
So you see, everybody's got some sticky plaster
generally.
Around.
But I think you can get hold of the nylon pliers on our website if you have a look. Ah, there's a few left in stock, so there you go. You can still get hold of them.
Excellent.
And we've only got, I think, single figures of the wire bundle available now. But of course, you can still add the gemstone bundle to your order. Beautiful combination of gemstones. And that is what you can see on your screen right now, available for $17.95. Your quartzite, your electric ruby pearls, your lapis lazuli, and your smoky quartz. Beautiful combination. That's the way to do it. Scott's going to try and find us the code for the nylon pliers, just in case people do want to get hold of them. Yes, there we go. So
with this, make sure that the loop at the top is at 90 degrees to the spiral at the bottom, so that when it hangs on, you can actually get the benefit of the spiral there. So where was I? I was at the blue, wasn't I? So going back to the blue, open your loop, and then just hang it off one of the wires. So the old story of opening the door, I think you call it.
Let's open the barn door.
There we go. And that's really. Oh no, I've added a little dangle in there, haven't I?
Put a little dangle with smoky quartz on there.
I used every single but 2 of the smoky quartz beads. Yeah, they're just so useful.
They're gorgeous.
They're just fabulous, aren't they?
I think, for me, I mean, I love smoky quartz anyway, but this cut on these is incredible.
Have you seen anything like that before? Or is this
I think I've seen the cut used, but not on gemstones this small.
Right.
Because they're 4mm, and this is a twisted facet with step cuts on it. It's a really intricate cut. Actually, I'm not doing that justice at all there. Probably losing that on there. It's probably much easier if I just hold the strand up, which I have got right here. There you go. So you can see the step cut itself lends itself beautifully to the colour tone, but then because it's got a little twist in it as well, it's just giving you so much character to your design. And as I say, it also highlights the quality of the gemstone itself, because the lapidus wouldn't have attempted that unless it was top quality smoky quartz. Gorgeous cut.
So I'll just put a little twist on this.
Okay.
And add it to the bottom there.
It's nice when you can use something like smoky quartz on the wire to create a little flourish, because it's not gonna, because the colour tones, like you were saying, they're base colours, they're not gonna overpower the design, but it's just a little bit of detail that adds to the overall look of it, isn't it?
It is, right, okay. So that's that component there. So far we've done I've done the coiling on the bronze wire, I've done the coiling with using the dark blue wire. You could do it all in the one colour if you want, then save your blue wire for later. That's part of your design skills.
Oh, I like the way of it. The blue wire is the feature. Again, it's like you're building up to it in your design. No.
Right, so that's basically the outside one. If I move on to doing the inside one.
Yep.
Yeah, so the middle one. So I've already threaded this up, and I'm going to use a similar technique to that I used earlier. I put a crimp in the end to stop it. So it's 1 pearl, 1 smoky quartz. And you could wear that strand by itself. You know, that is lovely as it is, isn't it?
Beautiful combination,
it's so simple.
yeah.
But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the blue wire. No, it's a brown wire.
Antique bronze again. This is the 0.4, isn't it?
So this is using the 0.4 bronzite. I'll cut about 30 centimetres.
Everyone's favourite length. Especially ruler manufacturers.
Yes. Favourite length is their only length. Right, so this is quite a long piece of cut here. So similar technique to what we showed earlier. Wrap it round at the top and hide it amongst the beads. Now I think, yeah, those pearls are actually drilled large enough so you can actually get 2 wires through them, which is quite incredible with pearls, I think. It doesn't happen terribly often. Right, then I'll snip them off. Right, so again, what I've done, it's a little bit more unwieldy this is. Bend your wire round and then twist it around the gap like we did earlier.
Okay.
Now I tried doing this by manipulating the strand of beads instead of the wire. It didn't really work very well. So make the wire do the travelling, as it were.
Make the wire do the work rather than the gemstones, obviously. Just because the gemstones are, you know, they're going to sit, they're dense, aren't they? Whereas the wire will have a bit more flexibility, I suppose.
So by doing it this way, the rest of the piece, as you said, is quite complex. So this makes sure that you're adding some complexity to this as well.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's tying the 3 strands together. You know, the wire sort of holds them together as well as the different gemstones.
But it sits so perfectly in the finished piece, doesn't it? Love it.
It's not something I've used terribly much before, and I've using this technique, and I really like it because you can manipulate.
Yeah, it gives it
when it's done.
I don't
gives
know,
it
like a snake-like feel to it, doesn't it? It gives it a little bit of movement.
And while you're doing it, you can talk about the weather, talk about the January sale. Do
you know what? This is one of the things which always, you know, I was saying earlier that wire work, sometimes I think, oh, I couldn't do that sort of thing. It's always because the designers are so amazing. They start off with these big reels of wire and then they're like, there you go, it just looks perfect. And I think, oh, I couldn't do that. But I suppose, like I was saying, it just comes down to practice, does it? And
well, it's practice, and also, it's even however complicated a piece is, it's all broken down into little simple steps, isn't
it?
You
know, well, yeah, that's what we're doing here today.
I mean, looking at that wire bouquet that
Gemma made,
the
design of the year, wasn't it?
Whoa, that was just unbelievable.
Yeah,
it was just absolutely amazing. But I would imagine that she's started off with a number of different techniques and then expanded on them.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, and you're right. Breaking it down. Because I mean, here you're looking at your design, you think, oh my word, how could you possibly create that? But actually, you've shown us the 2 techniques you've used. You've used the spiral technique to frame the gemstone, and then you've created the split ring to connect them together. So yeah, you're right. But it's just, you know, when you're sort of a novice, it just looks like, oh, that's really difficult to achieve. But I know so many people out there over the last 3 years, they started jewellery making with us when we launched the channel, and now the designs you get on the Wall of Fame are ridiculous.
They come on so much, haven't they? Yeah,
absolutely out of this world. Like you say, boutique pieces, basically. So we are still
getting towards the end.
So we're basically there now. We're just getting onto the last few beads now. We're still wrapping around the smoky quartz and the electric blue. And as we say, the colour combination is beautiful. I mean, this is the beauty of the designer inspiration hours themselves, in fact. Even if you aren't taking away every single piece, if you're not going to recreate the design, there's little things you can always take from it. I mean, now, people might have not have considered using the smoky quartz and electric blue pearls before. So there's a little bit of inspiration just there. If you wanted to create a basic beaded necklace, you could use electric blue pearl, smoky quartz, alternating, and then just fasten it with a normal clasp. Could work out rather nicely.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm just going to pop the end, hopefully it'll go back through the pearl. Right, I'm just
So
using a
we've
pair.
just completed that strand.
Yeah,
then.
I'm just using a pair of pliers to pop that in there. And obviously you'll take some time with that when you're working on this at home. Yeah.
So that's that technique, and you've.
So
it's
that
almost like the sequence of like a rosary chain or something like that, isn't it? The way they're separated in the end.
Yeah, that's a good point. Never thought of it that way, but it is a bit because you've got those spaces in between. So you're not using as many of your beads because you're using the wire to
The
space
wires
like,
making
again,
them
like
go
a
bit
rosary
further,
chain does. Yeah.
like a rosary chain. Yeah.
So that's
Nice way of
that
thinking of it.
component.
So that's the central strand,
It is, yeah.
and then.
And the outside strand is just basically stringing things together.
So this is all on beading thread then?
It is,
it?
yeah.
And then obviously you've created the little lapis lazuli flourishes in the same way that you did for the end piece, the focal piece, the pendant, is that right? These parts coming off? Or is there a slightly different?
Which one's this?
I'm just saying these are connecting the same way as this, is that right?
Not really, no,
Oh, no,
because what
we're
I've
gonna
done with
see it.
this,
Okay.
so I've used beading thread, and yeah, that's a sort of coppery colour,
Yeah.
which fitted in quite nicely, and I wanted the wire to go through it. I wasn't quite sure how to fix this little lot together, so I decided to use the beading thread because it would work better, I felt, than the ordinary wire.
I've just
So
seen
what I've
how
done-
you've sort of hidden that, because I was just thinking, how?
2 strands.
Yeah.
Halfway along it goes through the spiral, and then on the outside, that's this side here, the side you're going to see pop on one of the cords. Yep. Then
Okay.
take that back through the centre of the spiral, and so the rose quartz, if you've got it there, the rose quartz then acts as a kind of well, stopper, I suppose, and pull that tight a little bit, and then give yourself a little challenge to kind of thread this or to weave this in and out. So I'm taking one piece of wire which is going through the outside strand and the next to outside strand. Try not to pull it through like that because it will kink, so keep it as flat as possible, that loop, so it doesn't kink. Okay, so that's the first one. This is the reverse of the piece, so that's the first one that's going through there. This one I want to go in the opposite direction, so it's got to go through the second from the outside and the third, so that's going to be a little bit more tricky because they're quite dense. Right, I'm going to use a pair of pliers. It's quite often it's handy to use pliers in. Sometimes you can get more control than you can with your fingers. Oop. This just doesn't want to play.
Doesn't want to play ball.
Haha.
You got it through there.
I have. You can see a tiny little tail protruding out the other side.
So this is when your
when
your pliers come into play when
Absolutely,
you've
yep.
threaded it.
So yeah, then tighten them
It's
up.
funny because I did the morning show yesterday, and I was on with Debbie Bolford.
Oh yes.
She's doing some very clever polymer clay work, as she always does, and she got a text from my grandmother at the end of the
Yes.
show. She's in Kilmarnock, and she just said, "I hate Debbie. She's so clever. I can't even thread a needle." So you can see, don't be intimidated by the experts. They've been doing this for years and years. But like you say, it's about what you take away from it, isn't it? And also,
It is.
you're breaking down the techniques. You can achieve all these looks if you just
And
sort of take it step by step.
And as you said, you don't have to do everything. If you only want to do this, or if you only want to do the one with the coiled wire, or this one down, if you just want to do one strand, they'd all work fairly well independently.
Yeah, so you could actually have 3 separate looks from this one design,
Yeah,
actually,
you could, couldn't you? Yeah. So for this one here, I was threading the rose quartz and the quartzite. Now, the rose quartz is just the right.
The smoky.
Sorry, smoky quartz. Thank you. Rose. Sorry, I nearly did it again there. Smoky quartz is just the right size, so when you come to hang your lapis lazuli drops,
Yes.
it just hangs perfectly. Now, depending how perfectionist you are, you might want to make sure that all your spirals go one way or the other way, or one way on one side or on a different way.
I didn't realise how anal I was about these things until I started making jewellery. And I'm like, no, the jump ring's not sitting right. I have to start again, taking them all off.
So I leave that to everybody else's sense of perfection.
Some people like that sort of.
Some people would be, yeah.
Anarchy, as I call it.
So, as you can see here, by the time you add those two little smoky quartz beads at the top, they just kind of sit on top almost of the lapis, and so that means that you're I nearly said toffee coloured. You know what I mean, quartzite.
Yeah,
so the quartzite then fits in just nice at the side of them.
Now you've made me want some toffee.
Sorry.
I can't, honestly. I must have put on about a stone in the last week. I haven't stopped eating.
That's what Christmas is about.
That's what it's for, isn't it? Yeah. And don't forget, we've got the charity bike ride to burn it all off if you work at the Genuine Gemstone Company.
So when are you doing that, did you say?
So in between the two studios, at the back of the Gemstone Museum, there is actually now set up an exercise bike, and it's all being logged. All the miles that are being cycled are being logged on a map that goes from here to Arusha, where we source a lot of our gemstones and where we do a lot of our charity work. So
whereabouts is Arusha? Is it Tanzania?
Whereabouts? It's in
Tanzania.
It's in Africa, the continent, but that doesn't really narrow it down for you. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to find out now. And Scott filled in for me so that I could fill in on the Designer Inspiration show, and he did 20 kilometres in just half an hour.
Wow.
So now I've got to go and do one of Scott's half an hours, and now I've got to do 20 kilometres. I was planning on thinking, yeah, I'll be all right. I did cycle in today, to be fair. It is in Tanzania, so you were right.
Is it Tanzania?
Yes. It does make sense, because we do source a lot of gemstones there.
I think I might have read it on the website.
There you go, there you go.
But I couldn't remember.
I wish I had, and then I wouldn't have looked like such a fool. But, you know, this is one of the sort of ethoses of the company that's passed down from the owner and likes to share the responsibly sharing Mother Nature's
I think it's great.
items. So we source our gemstones there and want to give back to the area. We're trying to build 5 schools in that area of Arusha.
I think that's brilliant.
It's pretty, yeah, it's pretty clever. It's actually thought up by one of well, she was a producer, I think now she's a presenter, called Steph.
Right.
So she just came up with the scheme, went to Steve. He obviously fell in love
brilliant.
with the idea and he's put it all together. But
because you know they're working for you, or for.
Well, it's the mining communities that will benefit from it. So my sister has actually been out to Zambia, where we do some other charity work there. She did like an independent review of the charity work there on Steve's behalf, and she said like they absolutely love GMCV out there because they've got 2 libraries. They had 2 schools when she went. They've now got 3 schools there. Built a well there as well.
It just makes such a difference to their lives.
You can imagine that, you know, some companies don't have the same
sort of ethos.
Yeah, exactly. We're trying to take responsibility because we do take resources from that area of the world and trying to give back to the communities there. So yeah, I think it's really impressive project actually.
Right, so I don't need to complete that. I think you can see
we can
how
see
that's
exactly
working.
where it's going.
So
of course.
What other little techniques have we got in there? Oh, we've got figure of 8 chain. Now this is so easy peasy. Figure of 8 chains up round the top.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
So you're basically creating links.
You're creating figure of 8 links. Yeah. So those are. I did write it down.
Probably need 30
3.5 centimetres. Yeah, 30 centimetres will get you about 10. I was just thinking, I'm using just about 3.5 centimetres, yeah? Yep. On a reel of 10 metres, how many is that? How many links would you get out of that?
So 3 centimetres, so you've got... Oh, I should be able to get this, shouldn't I? Rachel Riley is laughing at home now. She's like, got it.
If it's 33 millimetres, would that make it easier?
33 millimetres, not really.
Yeah, because you get 3 in 100 millimetres, wouldn't you?
3 centimetres. Oh my word. How can I not do this? So it's basically, you're going to get about 30 per metre. You've got 10 metres, so we're looking at 300 links.
300
roughly,
links.
Approximately.
So just imagine how many metres of chain you could make for yourself with 300 links of wire.
Yes, so if you can't get hold of chain...
A lot.
That's exactly right.
Answer.
And if you just got hold of this bundle, that wire bundle, which actually... is it sold out? We've got a few left in stock? Got a few left in stock, single figures I'm told. You'd only use the 1 mil to create those though, wouldn't you? Not
No.
the
Yeah, the 1 mil,
0.4,
yeah, you couldn't use
so
the
you've got 20
0.4.
metres there, so you could technically create 600
Yeah, something like
links.
that.
But we don't know how many links make up a metre, make up a decent length of chain, or do we?
Well, we could find out.
Let's
Sorry, I
try
did
this.
that without explaining. So, 35 millimetre piece of wire, and about a third up from the broadest end of the pliers, and just twist it round.
So you've used 16 figures of 8 here.
Have I?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
So let's, for ease, say 15.
Right.
So 15 goes in 30. So that's 20, and then, yeah, so we could create 20 lengths like that, couldn't we? Of 3 metres. No, more than that.
I'd have thought it was more than
200, more like, surely. 15
200?
goes in. No, how many did we make? I've forgotten now. Oh, I don't know. 300. 30 times 15. Sounds about right, doesn't it? Do you know what? She's got a board she can write on.
It helps, doesn't it?
Get me a board.
So all I'm doing here...
Boom! I've been fired from Countdown already. Didn't even get the gig. Right, I do look better in a dress than Rachel Riley. Everybody, I've got a lot of males in the gallery disagreeing with me there. They've seen her on the dancing show. You've never seen me in a dress, boys.
So all I've done here is I've opened the links up and joined them together, and that
We've created
makes
a
this
length
little
of chain.
length of chain. And I just think, as I say, it's new to me, and it's just so versatile.
Very,
Just so
very
much you can do
useful
with it.
techniques, these, aren't
Yeah.
they? And as you say, you don't have to recreate a huge sort of ball gown piece like this. You can just use these techniques within your designs to create the little intricacies that are going to take your gemstones further by utilising your 1 mil wire. And then, of course, that technique on the central strand, using the 0.4 to sort of create that the rosary chain-like effect we sort of decided we'd call it, didn't we? And I think the colour combinations alone here are beautiful. I've never thought of using smoky quartz and the electric blue pearl.
It just
just works.
Sometimes it's almost like putting all your beads in a kind of bundle and
Yeah,
just
seeing
adding
what
and
works.
playing around with them and seeing what works and what doesn't. And very often that unexpected is the stuff that does work.
Yeah.
Because you think, oh, I'd never have thought of that.
A lot of all crafting really, but jewellery making in particular, does seem to be about experimenting or having a go and seeing what works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you don't experiment and have a go, you're never going to discover new things.
No.
So it's always worth it.
So that's it. So maybe a lot of the crafters out there, your New Year's resolution should be to be brave and experiment as often as possible, and I bet that you find inspiration with what you're working with. Absolutely beautiful.
Somebody
colour
once said, if
combinations
you
here.
always do what you've always done, you always get what you've always got.
got.
Something like that.
That's true.
So for the clasp on the back, so that's just a very simple little spiral clasp.
That's really
So I've
quite
just done that
simple.
earlier. I've left this more as of an open spiral.
Yep.
Yeah. So instead of making the wire touch when you coil it round like I did in the
leave it a
previous
little bit
pieces,
looser.
then you can see the difference between the two. Leave it a little bit looser.
Yep.
And that was just joined on.
Just becomes a sort of organic fastening, doesn't it, between the link and the
May I just
open
look?
spiral? Yeah, of course. Sorry.
So kick it. Right. So I've used one of the figure of 8 links and popped it round in the end
Even
there.
on there.
So that's-
Same way you would with a key ring, like we were saying
Yeah,
earlier with
yeah.
the split ring.
And then for fastening it, that's not terribly long, I just fastened it like that. But you could add a bigger jump ring if you wanted.
So
And the weight
easy.
of the necklace will keep that,
Oh,
in
of course,
place.
it'll be
okay.
very secure, and as you say, because of the fact that it's a gemstone heavy piece, it's going to sit, and it does hang so beautifully. You can imagine somebody's neckline with, as I say, like a ball gown. You know, you get the sort of sharp edge on the ball gown. You can
Oh, yeah.
imagine that sitting so beautifully on their décolletage.
And that's where the beadboard comes in really handy. when you're using it, because it's got the grooves in it, and so you can plan it out.
See how
you can see how it's going to sit properly.
And often people do use the bust
and
themselves, don't they, to hang it up and just make sure it's sitting properly. Well, that's another incredible design. Amazing inspiration from Maggie. Now, we have set you quite an unfair challenge really halfway through the show. We've sort of thrown you a curveball. You've got just over an hour and then I'll be back with you.
Right,
we'll see what you've created. What did we give you? We give you a little selection of gemstones, did they? And that is there.
Yes. Do you want to see them? Or you want to keep them?
No, we'll keep them as a little tease. I'm going to go back over. We're going to do another star buy before we go to a break. So I'll love you and leave you, Maggie.
Thanks,
Thank you so much. That is an incredible design. Love it.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, we are now going to bring you another star buy. Congratulations to everybody who got involved with the bundles that were available as a result of that amazing designer inspiration piece from Maggie. Really, really gorgeous. And am I right in thinking it's this bundle? Okay, we're going to go to a star by Sting. They just don't want my face on the screen for too much longer. Okay, we're back. In 1 second, I'm going to launch another findings bundle. Can't do a wardrobe quick, actually. They were telling me to get one of my Rachel Riley numbers on, but not long enough. Sorry, guys. No. Right, now, I explained earlier, this is probably one of our most popular findings. Now, we offered it earlier in the antique bronze variety. Right now, we've got this, well, rose gold is the only colour I can really describe this as. And it has been described as rose gold, so I was right, that's what I'll say. And again, you're going to get 20 pieces, 10 of your smaller ribbons, 10 of your larger ribbons. Now, we were talking earlier about using these in sort of hair sliders or fascinators, maybe little hair combs for little bridesmaids, something like that. Well, how gorgeous and feminine would they look in the rose gold? Down to how many, sorry, Scott? Okay, I've only got 30 available of this bundle, so I know it's going to be a sellout. These are beautiful because, again, a lot of the work's been done, hasn't it? Because of the detailing on the finding itself. You've got those ribbon shapes, so intricate with that mesh work. Look at that. The code is FVGC59. So these are your 20 by 30 mil variety, the larger, more statement pieces, but you have got these smaller ones as part of the bundle as well. Those are 12 by 20 mil. So you get 10 of those and 10 of those. The code you need is FVGC59. Don't forget, here on Jewellery Maker, as soon as that code hits the screen, you can start to get involved. You don't have to wait for the price, but without further ado, let's give you your star buy price of just $11.95, matching the price we offered you earlier for the antique bronze. Don't forget, if you were to buy just the 10 pack of these, it'd be $6.95 alone. So you are making a bit of a saving here. FVGC59, these beautiful rose gold ribbons. This is the brass mesh. So do you think this is the same material that is used to create our magic mesh, or is it? It feels a little bit, feels quite sturdy. Yeah, it's a little bit sturdier, I think, probably. These are available right now for $11.95. Half the stock has now been allocated. The code is FVGC59. I know how many of you have missed out on these previously because we had a sort of a small amount allocated to one of our Miss It Miss Out shows. We basically crashed the phone lines, so many of you were flying in for them. So act now to avoid disappointment. Don't forget, it's a free phone number here at Jewellery Maker, and you only pay 1 P&P per day of just $2.95. And trust me, that's often cheaper than you'll pay for the car park in many shopping centres. So I'm really bitter about how much I had to pay on Boxing Day. Well, it's not. It's wherever I go, you've got to pay for car parking. It's just too much. $2.95, and you can shop from the comfort of your own home. You can add as many items as you want to your order, and you can take advantage of these incredible deals. Beautiful rose gold findings. I'm right in thinking, well, obviously this is brass mesh. Rose gold relates to the colour, is that correct? Rather than the actual metal that's been used. So $11.95, the code is FVGC59, down into single figures of availability. I've got 8 remaining of this particular bundle, so if you want to add this to your order, Act now, because people are multi-buying their rose gold ribbons. You can see why. It's always nice to have a nice collection of your essential findings, but these aren't essential. They're a little bit special, aren't they? They're going to add a bit of detailing to your designs. And actually, often when you've got something this intricate, it can almost lead your design. It can inspire what you're going to create. FVGC59 available right now for £11.95. Less than 5 available now, this particular bundle. So if you do want to get involved, dial now. I'm going to leave those with you because something very, very exciting to let you know about coming up in the final hour of the Designer Inspiration Show, and it is this strand of amethyst, February's birthstone. And basically, could we have done any more work on this gemstone? It's been cut into these gorgeous pear-shaped drops, checkerboard faceting on the surface, give you real glamour, and then framed using 925 sterling silver. Absolutely one of the highest quality strands of amethyst, I was going to say, I've seen all year. I am such a card. No, but I was going to say, it must be one of the highest quality strands of amethyst we've ever brought to you, because how often would we set amethyst into sterling silver? Beautiful gemstone, and again, it's one of those gemstones that you're going to find on the high street. So people are going to be aware of this gemstone. You find it in all those high street jewellers, you know, the ones with initials in their names. They've got a plethora of amethyst, and they're setting amethyst not just into silver, like we have here, but into gold. You know, it's a really high-end gemstone. It is actually used by some of the biggest design houses in the world. And this is the kind of quality you'd be looking at. This traditional, regal tone of purple amethyst. Absolutely beautiful. Now, as I say, it's February's birthstone. The reason that's important is that if you are going to sell your jewellery, it's always easier to make a sale if people have a personal connection with the gemstones, and even if people don't have a depth of knowledge about gemstones and gemology, they're usually aware of their birthstone. Amethyst, coming up at the start of the year as February's birthstone, the gemstone of Valentine's, synonymous with romance as a result. So if you do want to get involved with this, you are going to have to act very, very quickly, because I do only have a limited number available. It's a limited edition strand. How many times have we offered these sort of silver framed gemstones? Only ever been one other strand. Do you know what gemstone was used? So Rainbow Moonstone. We once framed a really high-end strand of Rainbow Moonstone in sterling silver. It sold out in seconds. This is going to follow suit, because it is going to fly out the door. I only have a limited number, and I'm bringing it to you in the final hour of the show, which is coming up just shortly. And in that hour, we'll also return to Maggie to see what she's managed to create in a very frantic designer challenge. Do not go away. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes, and I will be bringing you that amethyst in the final hour.
Life gives, we will take and make yellow flowers. says take your burden down to my soil. Now we'll make yellow flowers for you.
Welcome back to the Designer Inspiration Show. Maggie and I are just having a discussion about our charity cycling event that we are currently underway with at the Genuine Gemstone Company. We're trying to sort of artificially cycle from here to Arusha in Tanzania. Thanks for letting us know where it was, Maggie. So that's a place where we source a lot of our gemstones from, and as a result we're trying to give something back to the local community there. We're trying to build 5 schools in that area, and you can donate to what is actually a world record attempt as well, I've been told. So it's got it all, this charity event, hasn't it? So if we succeed in, is it keeping up the mileage that allows us to break the record? Do you know what? I really should know the details about this before I start talking about it. Oh, it's for the fact that it's 24 hours. It's continuous bike riding that allows it to be a world record attempt. But also, it's quite significant that we're trying to cycle from here, our studios, to the area. Now, we're not physically travelling there because we're spreading the miles out across members of the team. I had signed up for my first stint on the bike today, but instead, I've had to bring you the Designer Inspiration Show, which I'm quite excited about because I've never done a Designer Inspiration Show before. I'm quite excited, and as a result, Scott stepped in the chair for me and set a benchmark of 20 kilometres in just half an hour. So I've got to match Scott. Right, show off. He's saying I wasn't really exerting myself either. Well, I'm going to have to exert myself to get 20 kilometres in half an hour, I think I will, considering it took me half an hour to cycle here and I only live 5 miles away. So I already cycled here. And I did do a workout this morning. When you phoned me, Scott phoned me to see if I could come in early and step into somebody's shoes to do the design inspiration. No, not while I was on a bike. While I just literally finished my insanity workout. I'm going to have unbelievable abs in just 60 days. I don't know why I've turned into Sean T. But anyway, I just finished and he phoned me. I was like, hello. And he was like, are you okay? I was like, yeah. So yeah. So there's a lot of exercise. We're all taking a little tail off by January the 11th or something, won't it? But well, I've started well. So let's have a think about what you might have set as your New Year's resolution. Have you decided maybe to take your crafting to the next level? Maybe turn your hobby into a small business, start selling your jewellery? Well, if so, then you're going to want to take advantage of our wholesale opportunities here at Jewellery Maker, and that is what we're about to offer you as part of this 10, just checking, 10 reels of satin cord here, giving you 100 meters. Now, recently went on the road to do a little bit of research, see what other craft stores are selling items for, and obviously this is just a little independent craft store, so I'm not comparing it to us. Obviously one of the biggest suppliers, well, in the world now, because we have gone global, but they were selling their ribbon and cord at £1.30 a metre. Probably quite a reasonable price, I would think, on the open market. That's not the price we're about to give you, not for 100 metres. It's going to be less than a penny. Is that right? Less than a penny a metre? 10p a metre. 10p a metre. Oh yeah, that would be ridiculous otherwise. Oh, hold on. Yeah, that's right. 9.9p a metre. Pretty good. Right, now you've got these beautiful colour tones here. You've got your chrome dioxide tone of cord. You've got your apatite blue. You've got your silver, your lavender amethyst, and your lapis lazuli colour of cord here. You've got 20 metres of each colour. 100 metres in total. Now, I said earlier in the show, as soon as the code hits your screen, you can start getting involved, and so many of you have already taken advantage. 50 of these have already been allocated, so for all of you who are dilly-dallying, let's get the price on screen. £9.95, under £10 for 100 metres of satin cord. This is perfect for so many different techniques, whether it be macrame, whether it be your French knitting. What's that other braiding technique? I already said macrame. Listen, active listening, boys, come on. There's so many different braiding techniques out there that people have been getting involved with. Oh, I know what I'm thinking, Kumahimo. I knew it, it was just coming. Kumahimo, macrame, French knitting, and of course, so many different braiding techniques that people use within their crafting, within their jewellery making. This is ridiculous value. As I say, right now you're looking at less than 10p a metre on your satin cord, and I love the colour tones here. Perfect for your spring collections, aren't they? You've got the royal blue, the lavender tone, this cashmere or silver coloured, you've got your sky blue, and then it's been classified as olive, but I'm saying it's the same tone that you get from your chrome tourmaline or your chrome dioxide. Exact same sort of, yeah, moss green, yeah, that's right. But you've got those little lime green tones coming through as well when the light hits it. YMGC76, gorgeous satin cord, 100 metres across 5 different colours, so you've got 20 metres of each. Just get my maths back on track. YMGC76, really impressive bundle here, ridiculous value, and people are flying in on the phone lines. Over 100 of these have now been allocated to people's baskets. It's taking advantage of the 1p per day, I imagine. In fact, I'll just have a little sip of water because this sells itself at that price. Incredible value. People are flying in on the phone lines. We have created a short queue, but don't panic. You will be answered in the order in which you dial, and of course it is a free phone number here at Jewellery Maker. As I say, 1p per day, so this is an add it to your order price. Stock up on it now while we have it in stock. YMGC76, cool and collected. 100 metres of satin cord across 5 different colours for just £9.95. We're going to leave that one with you. We're going to move on. Oh, I like the sound of this. This sounds very miss it, miss out. Number what? It's the only box that doesn't have anything. Oh, hold on. There's something on the floor. No? Okay. Are those little seashell findings? That's what it is then. What's going on, Pete? Number 1's missing. Sort your life out. Pete knows the score. He's my floor manager on the Miss It Miss Out show. I think he's trying to sabotage your show, guys, because this never happens on my show. He is on it. Now, this is going to have a very miss it, miss out feel, because every single item you see here now is going to go under £10. Now, I'm going to hold one of these in my tweezers, but you actually get 3 of them in total. Look at that expert tweezer work there. CHTM77 is the code you need. The reason I'm giving you that is because these are limited in availability. Very, very popular when you're looking at these detailed findings. Now, we just saw the ribbons fly out the door. Seashells, again, so popular within jewellery, particularly handmade jewellery designs. I see a lot of things inspired by the sea. We saw earlier Rachel Norris's turtle design, didn't we? So you see, like, you know, those nautical influences within many handmade jewellery designs. We're looking here at 3 of your 10mm shell beads. This is actually oxidised sterling silver, so you're looking at 95 sterling silver, but then this oxidisation technique, easy for me to say, gives it a really vintage look, doesn't it? Almost antique-like. The code is CHTM77, and here comes your price, £7.95. That's all you're going to pay, under £10 right now, for sterling silver findings. As I say, I don't know how often we're going to be able to bring these prices in the future, because the fluctuations in the prices for just a gram of silver and gold will change, not just from day to day, but from hour to hour. You know, the whole world's financial markets are based on people trading in these precious and semi-precious metals, and that affects not just the price that we can bring sterling silver to you, but everything really. The price of bread gets affected by those kind of things. CHTM77, you can add these gorgeous findings to your collection for just $7.95. We'll leave that one there. And we're moving on to one of our deluxe gem selections, but this time it's in, are these the brass or the copper? It's on screen. Brass bead stash. Look up, Ed. Clues in the title. Brass bead stash. Love these. Got a really eclectic look here. You've got a lovely variety because you've got your gunmetal, you've got your gold, your silver and your rose gold. Now the really impressive thing about these is, I'm going to open them up because I want to show people something. Again, it's all about the detailing. Now what we actually do is, we take the bead, and to create this little bit of texture on the surface, we actually sandblast the surface of the bead to give it this almost stardust-like finish, a little bit of sparkle. Pick probably the worst one for showing sparkle, the gunmetal. And then, in order to create the detail, we actually carve this design onto the surface of the bead itself. So quite labour intensive really to create this look, but these are so versatile. They work in so many different designs. And of course you've got the 4 different colours, so whichever gemstones you're working with, you're going to be able to integrate these into designs. I always think that these beads would make gorgeous accents to a gemstone. I just can't get off of that. But look at this. You've got your rose gold colour, your silver colour, your yellow gold and your gunmetal colour. Now the original price for this stash, which featured approximately 310 beads, is that right? These are 4 mil in size. Now the original price was $9.95. That is not the price you are going to pay today. It's going to be a price slash. VWAZ68. Here comes your price reduction. Should be $9.95, but today until 9 AM tomorrow morning, you can add them to your order for $7.95. Now I know how popular these are because they're limited in stock. So if you want to take advantage of the last few opportunities to get hold of these brass bead stash, which have been diamond cut, as I said, they've been sandblasted to give you that stardust effect and then carved to create those little bits of detailing on each and every bead. Over 300 beads in this collection. These are another thing that are just going to make your gemstones go further, increase your stash of findings. The code is VWAZ68, available right now for $7.95. You like to work with things like this, Maggie?
Absolutely, I don't think you can work with them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think they're essential. If you've got larger beads, they don't always hang properly. If you can imagine around the curve of a neck or a bracelet, if they're too large, then you see the wire. But by putting spacer beads in, that hides that, so it gives you a much better.
So there you go.
It just hangs a lot better. It looks a lot more professional.
Yeah, gives you that high-end finish that you want.
It looks so much better. Yeah.
There you go. So actually, I've been talking about making gemstones go further, but actually the correct term, Maggie said there, is that they're going to be little spacer beads. So that's what they are. Yeah, exactly. So again, I was thinking about them using them to sort of make your gemstones go further, but in actual fact, they're even more essential than that, because they actually allow the gemstones to sit properly within your designs by involving these spacer beads. Right now, you can add these to your order for just $7.95. Tomorrow at 9 AM, they will return to that original price of $9.95. The code is VWAZ68. They are quickly flying out the door, and this add it to your order price. People taking advantage of their 1p&p per day. The code is VWAZ68. Your brass bead stash, diamond cut, frosted, round brass beads, available right now for $7.95. Add those to your order while you can. They are flying out the door. Now we're going to move on. And we're going to offer you this graduated strand of beautiful Amazonite. The thing I love about this particular strand is that in general, with the Amazonite, it's of such a high standard, you do get a real consistency of colour, don't you? You get those pastel green shades that are synonymous with the gemstone. almost those fresh minty tones. But on this particular strand, you've got a nice variation of colour tones here. Again, it's going to let your customers know that you've sourced the real McCoy. Absolutely beautiful, because we don't see this colour tone in Amazonite very often. Look at this one, it's basically a monochrome gemstone. And I'm hearing that while they were quickly throwing your designer challenge together, this is one of the strands you were eyeing at, Maggie, is that right?
I was looking at it, but then I thought it was too nice.
Oh, you didn't want
nice to
oh,
use.
Look at that. I'll tell you what, you can definitely come back. Other designers will be like, I'm having that. I'm not naming any names. You know who you are. So the graduated finish, so there you go. Too nice to use in a challenge. The code you need is KOGP58. We're looking at 160 carats here, and they actually graduate in size from 6mm to 14mm. And the price is coming at $8.95 for this incredible strand of Amazonite. Now, again, this strand is perfect for your spring collections. Oh, what's happening here? Being a bit intimidated by the Miss It Miss Out show, are we? Down to $6.95. Scott's giving you an exclusive saving. A strand that Maggie considered too nice to just chop up for a challenge, and now he's taking it down to $6.95. Oh, you look pained by that, Maggie. We're not trying to devalue gemstones, but we just want everybody to get involved with jewellery making.
I would just use that strand and some of those spacer beads you've just shown us, and that would be it.
Yeah, which colour tone? Maybe the silver?
Yeah, I think the silver.
Shaded green. Yeah, I can see that working. Yeah, because the graduation means that you haven't really got to do any work, have you? You can just use these to as spaces in between. All you've got to do is connect to class.
Precisely.
Gorgeous, sellable piece of jewellery, really. And at $6.95 for the strand, and you're making a saving on those right now, you've got to take advantage of these incredible price slashes while you can. At 9 AM tomorrow, they'll return to their original price. You can add 160 carats of Amazonite to your order right now for $6.95. Original price was $8.95. So take advantage right now. We're going to move on. It's this one, I think it is. The multi-award winning, it retains its title as the most popular gemstone here at Jewellery Maker. Gorgeous labradorite. And this, I don't like that talk. Come on, Scott. He said it's the Man United of gemstones. I'm a Liverpool fan. I don't want to hear that talk. 400 carats of labradorite. Never talk about football on air, Ed. I'm going to get loads of complaints now. All the Man United fans are never watching me again. Let me just pick one of these out, because in the studio light it's a bit difficult to display the optical effect that you get from the gemstone. But if I pick one, let's just pick one at random where we're going to get a bit of labradorescence to show you, because I can shield this here. Have we got it there? You see how it's... There you go. It's really defined because of these organic facets, isn't it? You can see here that the lapidus, again, thought about what they were doing. They weren't trying to create a uniform shape here, trying to follow the natural cleavage of the gemstone to give you the best possible, maybe carat weight, and maybe the most organic shape, because these beautiful faceted nuggets are 14 by 10 mil. That must be an average size, because of course they're so non-uniform. They really have that organic feel to them. That sort of adds to the design here for me. Oh, we're getting a lot of violet labradorescence here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to... Are we getting it there? Oh yeah, you can see it. Beautiful violet labradorescence. Absolutely gorgeous. The code is DIGP34. And here comes your price, $7.95. If you want to get hold of your favourite gemstone labradorite, and you want to get it in these beautiful organic faceted nuggets, dial now. The free phone number is available, and you can have them for just $7.95. Now, this is one of those strands where you want to utilise your 30-day money-back guarantee, because I'm really not doing this gemstone strand justice at all because of those studio lights. They're there to make me look handsome. They're working a treat. But the problem is They sort of saturate the colour tones that we see in many of our gemstones. The code is DIGP34, 400 carats of labradorite, your favourite gemstone here at Jewellery Maker, available right now for $7.95. Take advantage while you can, because this is a really impressive offer for a huge carat weight of your favourite gemstone. Was that the Welsh one I just heard? Eleanor Barker just came storming into the gallery. She's all excited. She's bouncing around like Tigger. There she is. Happy New Year. You're covering my show, aren't you?
I am.
So I've done the Designer Inspiration show. Eleanor is going to do the Miss It Miss Out show. She's an excitable lady. They keep stealing the clearance aisles away from me. I think they're worried about how low I would go. They don't need to be. Eleanor doesn't even work on this channel. She's got nothing to keep the prices high for. She's going to be smashing the prices come 5 p.m. Oh, I see. Pete's looking kind of quite happy that there's a sexy lady on the show instead of me.
No, it's just that I don't even have to work with you.
Oh! The transfer window's open and it looks like Pete's looking to make an exit from the Miss It Miss Out team. He said he's not excited that there's a beautiful lady on the show, he's just excited he doesn't have to work with me. Do you know what? It's all going down in my notebook because that's more bullying in the workplace. Last time he hit me, he was doing his price slash dance and he hit me. It all goes off on the Miss It Miss Out shows. Are you trying to tell me that you boys don't watch when you get home from work? Yeah, you know about the price slash dance, come on. Why, yada. Right now we are bringing you one of the rarest gemstones on the planet. 75 carats of Andalusite, something we are not able to bring you every day. And I think somebody's playing a little bit of fast and loose with the word heart here, because these are, I think they must be a generic classification where we've sourced the gemstone from, but they're not heart shapes. You'd be looking for that defined indentation. They're actually drop shapes, small or pear drops, I would say. They range in size from 7 to 11 mil. I'm always going to be honest with you. You know, I'm not going to say they're something they're not. Wow, look at this here. Don't know if we're going to be able to capture it on screen again, but can you see the way there's a little spectrum of light inside the gemstone? It's almost like a little rainbow living inside the gemstone. Don't know if I'm quite capturing it. Again, you can always use your 30-day money-back guarantee. Oh, there it is. Oh, there you go. Less is more, Ed. If you just left it alone, you would have seen it. Do you know what that's caused by? Just a little crystal inclusion in the gemstone. So there you go. This is the beauty of working with genuine gemstones. As I tilt it back away from the light, you can see it more clearly. So the beauty of working with genuine gemstones is that these little inclusions actually add to the character of the gemstone. You've got a lovely earthy tone to this strand of Andalusite. Very, very rare. Known as possibly the most pleochroic of all gemstones. 75 carats in total. Let's have a look at our price. We know it's going under 10. $8.95. The code you need is QDRU25. 75 carats of Andalusite. Again, a lot of the work's done here because you've got a graduated size of gemstones ranging from 7 to 11 mil in size. Quite significant size here, but because you've got the top drilled drop shapes, you could create a matching set of jewellery using just 3 gemstones. You see those lime green tones coming off the top? That's what I just spotted. Almost ruby reds coming off another gemstone there. It's that one there, isn't it? That one, as I turn it around, look at that. There you go, that's that pleochroism coming through. Almost colour change from your green, your moss greens, to your ruby reds. And we're actually being able to display that in our studio, so imagine what it's going to look like in daylight. Beautiful gemstone, very, very rare. I have to say, this is one of those gemstones that is actually sought after by some of the largest jewellery designers in the world, because obviously they know how rare it is and they want to include it in their design. So you're not going to find this gemstone on the high street, but imagine being able to offer your customers the most pleochroic of all the gemstones, beautiful Andalusite. 75 carats here for $8.95. Absolutely ridiculous. The code is QDRU25. We're going to leave that there. Now, let me just tell you something. We've got about half an hour left on show. We've still got to go over and see what Maggie's been able to create in just under an hour. Scott, so unfair. But we're going to get one more under £10 deal in before I bring you this very exclusive star buy. Now I have to warn you, we've already had people calling up the call centre to try and secure a strand of this. Now you can't do that, guys. Come on. You know the rules. As soon as the code hits the screen, you will be able to dial our free phone number or allocate it to your basket at JewelleryMaker.com. We have our new look website up and running. Very easy to use, very easy to allocate items to your basket. So you will get a chance, but just hold your horses. So that is coming up, this exclusive strand of sterling silver framed amethyst, coming up in one sales time. So do not go anywhere. And we're going to choose something very exclusive. Now, the same gemstone we launched the show with, and that was featured in Maggie's first design inspiration project. Now, what were we saying earlier, Maggie, about the cut on the smoky quartz, the twisted step cuts? But I was saying it's quite intricate to do it on a 4mm because probably easier to create on these huge slabs of rose quartz. Would these work in your original design? Because obviously you're saying like you've got the rounded feel from the framing.
Yes, because I was creating a frame with a more angular one. Yeah, that would probably work okay. Yeah,
there
and just
you
keep
go.
it fairly round. Yeah, curvy.
But it's going to sit quite proud on the décolletage. It's going to attract attention to it because you've got this little twist. See? Again, that gorgeous pastel shade of pink. As I look at it, it's not really coming across on screen. Again, it's those pesky studio lights. But look at those step cuts there. Again, highlighting the quality of the gemstone, the density that you get with quartz there. Because the lapidus obviously got a little glint in his eye when he was handed this particular strand of rose quartz. I thought, oh, I know what I'm going to do here. Twisted step cuts, not very easy to achieve. And you've got over 500 carats here. Again, they're large enough to be used independently as pendants. They are 25 by 18, and check out this and add it to your order price for 520 carats of rose quartz, $5.95. Maggie's jaw just hit the desk and she just looked it up. 520 carats of rose quartz, beautiful faceted slabs. They slightly getting more of that pink hue coming through. I think it's because I was blocking out the light. Yeah, I think it's because my shadow is blocking out the light, so you can see the pink hues coming through. Really feminine, gorgeous pastel pink here. 520 carats for $5.95. Let me do a quick approximation. So you've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 in total on this. Obviously that's an approximation. What I can guarantee you is that you're going to get over 500 carats of rose quartz. But if you were to get this strand, you might get slightly more, you might get 15, you might get 17, but you are going to get over 500 carats of rose quartz in these gorgeous step cut, twisted puffy ovals, which I think would form gorgeous pendants. The code is GGGP20. Congratulations to everybody on the phone line. If you do enter a short queue, do not panic. It's a free phone number and you will be answered in the order in which you dial. We're very, very busy today because people are adding to that 1 PMP of 295. I'm going to have to leave that on with you because without further ado, it is time for a star buy! Gorgeous opportunity now to add February's birthstone to your collection, but only if you are one of the fastest fingers. Because as soon as the code hits your screen, you need to start dialing the number. We have once featured a strand of gemstones that was framed using 925 sterling silver. It sold out in seconds. And this is going to follow suit. Look at the quality of the gemstones there. Now we were talking earlier. There you go, the code's on screen, VCDL59. You can start to dial now, right? Look how many pieces of information there are in the title of this. I was going to say, could we do any more work to a gemstone? 925 sterling silver bezel gemstone strand with 65 carats of amethyst, which has been checkerboard faceted, cut into pear-shaped drops, which are 16 by 13 mil. So basically, everything you can do to a gemstone has been done here. There are so many people on the phone lines. I'm being told we have to bring the price straight in. We've let you see it. It's February's birthstone. Gorgeous, traditional tone of purple amethyst framed in 925 sterling silver. Here comes your price. $24.45. Now you've got to consider what you're getting here. Huge slabs of amethyst that has been checkerboard faceted. You can see the faceting on the surface there. Huge facets giving you all that sparkle, all that glamour. And then it has been framed using 925 sterling silver. Uh-oh. Over half the stock's already been allocated. People still flying in on the phone lines. Actually, do you mind if I just turn them around this way? Because I think probably more people are going to use them in that sort of teardrop shape, aren't they? These will make gorgeous charms, in fact. You know, really high-end charms, because they're 925 sterling silver. You know, put them on a head pin and you're away. No work to do. Really set off a charm bracelet using this. Or really exclusive pendants, wouldn't they? For February birthstone pieces. Each of those allows you to form the focal point of any design, doesn't it? VCDL59. Whoa! I think I'm going to get in trouble from the call centre. The code is VCDL59. If you want to get involved, my advice, dial right now. We're already into limited stock availability. Congratulations to Carol. She's in Ayrshire, where my family's from. Is that where you're from?
Yes.
I think we did discuss that on the screen test.
We did, yes.
Which part of Ayrshire are you from?
A place called Stevenston, right in the coast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Or Steveston, if you live up there.
Steveston. Yeah, so yeah, it's very, very close to where I'm from, in Kilmarnock. About 15 minutes down the road. Down
Probably.
one dual carriageway to get there.
Really? It's many years since I've been back up there, so I'm not sure.
There you go. Well, it's been many years since I've been back up there. Not that many. I went to a wedding near Stevenson not that long ago, about 3 or 4 years ago.
Right.
I'm going to visit my friends who got married for the first time in 4 years this weekend. So don't be dialing me up to cover any shifts. Congratulations to George, Carol, Fran, Susan, Aileen, Joanne, Pam, Jeanette, Maria, Kathleen, Vanessa, Pat, Hazel, Ruth, Mary, Pleiade. That's a very exotic name. Down to the final 20 in stock now. So congratulations to Gillian, Wendy, Karen, Tina, Catherine, Stephanie, Margaret, Susan, Karen. Oh, Andrina, another nice name. Gerald, Susan, Joan. Lots of anonymous buyers. Elizabeth, Zoe, Sandra, Linda, Catherine, Sylvia, Claudia, Monica. So many of you flying in on the phone lines to make this yours. The price is $24.45, pushing it. Every penny you could take off the price, he did. 65 carats of your sterling silver framed amethyst available right now for $24.45. It looks like it's going to be another sellout, selling out in about 2 minutes here on the Designer Inspiration. Oh, okay. So my apologies. I wasn't trying to mislead anybody. That was just the information I had. We have actually also offered a strand of this in labradorite previously as well. So sorry, I didn't realise that. But congratulations to everybody who's got hold of these strands, because I can see how popular they are. This one has literally flown out the door. I've got single figures of availability now on this particular strand. That's how quick you've got to be. Here we're offering exclusive strands like this. Beautiful gemstones. February's birthstone. And look at the quality of the amethyst. Even if you take the sterling silver away from this, that is sterling silver that's framed it, but look at the colour tone there. That rich, regal tone of purple that you'd expect to see with amethyst. That's an interesting idea. Scott's saying that you could create a ring design using that. Well, yeah, I suppose, because a lot of people like the asymmetrical looks that we were talking about. You could set it horizontally and create a ring. I just think it would be like a dangle as a pendant. I mean, in fact, you could actually leave that on. So I see a lot of designers doing that on the morning show. You know what I mean? All you'd have to do is sit there. And also, you get these little spacer balls. Are these a base metal or are these sterling silver, do we think? They're probably a base metal with a bit of silver flash on them, but you don't waste anything. When you're a crafter, when you're creating jewellery, everything goes into that finding stash. So you've got those little spacer beads in between each and every amethyst as well. I have got 3 strands remaining in stock now. The code is VCDL59. So congratulations to everybody who's got involved. If you're on the phone line, don't take my word for it. There are obviously fluctuations in our system. Make sure you speak to a member of the help team. They're the only people that can guarantee whether or not they can secure a strand of that to your order. VCDL59 is the code. Congratulations to everybody adding that to the order for just $24.45. We are going to leave that star by there because we're going to go back into under £10. Everybody's favourite section. Where are we going to then? Okie dokie. Oh wow, rainbow pyrite. Look at these colour tones here. Such a peacock-like effect here because you've got your purples, your greens, your electric blues, your golden tones, and you've got a nice little bit of weight from the gemstone strand here as well. They're 8mm round, so very easy to work with. You know what? These would be perfect in macrame designs if you did take advantage earlier of your cord. Ooh. Each and every one of those colours would work with the pyrite, wouldn't they? Because you've got your lavender colours, your electric blues, your royal blues, your silvers and your greens. So if you do love to create macrame bracelets, this could be the perfect strand for you. 8mm rounds, 250 carats of rainbow pyrite in total. The code is NEGP81 and here comes your price. Whoa, $5.95 for 250 carats. Wasn't expecting to see that. Of course, you don't have to use these in macrame designs. You could use them in some of, maybe like your party pieces. They've got a real disco ball effect to them, haven't they? 250 carats of rainbow pyrite, 8mm plain rounds available right now for $5.95. Absolutely incredible deal. At under £10, just $5.95. I'm going to leave that one with you. I'm going to move on. Oh, can I pick one? How about number 7? I love to bring wholesale findings deals. And right now, I'm going to bring you a huge amount of your posts and butterfly backs. So, just for your reference, Producer Scott, this came out of box number 7. I'll just put one of these together. Now, you're going to get, I think, 100 pairs as part of this deal. It's a wholesale opportunity. Perfect way to create really sellable pieces because, oh, let me just turn that so you can see the butterfly back. There you go. Because earrings sell really well at your craft fairs, don't they? And it's really easy to use these lightweight findings because you've got 100 pairs here. It's a wholesale trade show style offer. Now, I remember when we used to be able to bring findings in basically little packs where you got 10 head pins and a clasp and crimp beads. Ben, you weren't even here in those days. Scott was here. Scott was a floor manager in those days. Now he's the head honcho. But now we can bring you wholesale opportunities because of the buying power we now have. We can bring you 100 pairs of antique bronze earring posts and butterfly backs for $8.95. The code is BDGP35. And look how much you get there. So easy to work with, so easy to create a beautiful design. And you've got a huge amount. This is one of those items you've got to stock up on because you're never going to run out of findings if you take advantage of these wholesale opportunities. $8.95 for 100 pairs. You've got your posts and your butterfly backs. And you've got your antique bronze finish here. So real vintage look, but they're quite easy to work with, quite lightweight because you've got the antique bronze. So BD GP35, take advantage while you can, just $8.95. And I'm going to move on. Oh wow, love this. Now, when you see this strand, I'm going to tell you a little story. Because I used to be in Scott's chair, I used to be the sales manager of the channel, and we used to have a little bit of negotiation going on upstairs because I don't think people fully understood how to integrate green gemstones into their designs. They weren't always popular. People didn't really think, they weren't necessarily inspired by them as designers. See what I did there? But we now realise that green is Mother Nature's base colour. She starts her design for each and every flower with a green stem, a green leaf, and then she decides what colour the petals are going to be. So as a result, green gemstones go with every other colour. 480 carats of green crackled agate here. These are these are smooth graduated rice beads here. They range in size from 15 by 19 to 31 by 20. So that largest one there is going to be a real feature of any design. Look at the banding on that. NYGP11, and here comes your price for 480 carats of green crackled agate. $7.95 for that kind of carat weight. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Ooh, you see how sturdy they are? Smash them off the desk. 480 carats here. Look at what you're getting, because you're getting a lovely variation of colour tones here, from your chrome dioxide to your emerald greens. There's beautiful lime green tones as well. The code is NYGP11. It's available right now for $7.95, but only while stocks last. Been an extremely popular strand of gemstones here at Jewellery Maker. NYGP11 is the code you need if you want to add these to your order for just $7.95. What have you come as? You've dressed like Sandy out of Greece. Get out of here. Get out of here. Say hello to the audience. I've got chills, they multiply, and I'm about to lose control. Happy New Year.
Hello, everybody.
Long time no see.
Long time.
So
I was trying to work it out. I think it's been a couple of months.
Well, we're going to have so many new viewers since you were the...
Yeah, so they'll be thinking, who's this?
What were you? Project manager. Can't even remember people's titles anymore. We're presenters now. We did it. So you're coming up at 5 PM.
5 PM.
You better not be doing better figures than me. I'm intimidated.
I'm back to my grassroots.
Back to the old school. Back to your roots. Right, Scott. Let me see you shaking your boots. Give me another incredible offer. Oh wow. Oh, should have kept this strand out actually, because these are going to work really well together. So don't tune out at 5 PM, because even though I'm not here between 5 PM and 9 PM, if you miss it,
you miss out.
That's right, Pedro. Look at these together. I love them. Beautiful faceted rice beads here. Sorry to disturb you there in the gallery. We're still making the show. We're all catching up with Eleanor. Got your multicoloured lace agate. Do you know what? This has like almost like a python snake-like effect, doesn't it, to it? Do you know what I mean? Almost like a snake skin. So much texture. It's almost like, you know, you build layers of character into your designs, don't you? And when your gemstone adds this much texture, it works perfectly with these, but those are now gone. We'll have to leave those to the side, because now we're bringing you 250 carats of multicoloured laced agate. This is your faceted long drums. Basically, it has a sort of a marquee shape, but a broad end, so that's why they haven't been classified as rice beads. If I show you there, the end of them, it doesn't quite taper as much as a rice bead would. As a result, just to annoy my producer, let's do a price slash while he's down here. Should be $6. Oh, look, I've just promoted your show for you. You should be happy. This is all the deals that are going to be coming from 5 PM till 9 PM. we're taking this low. Should be £6.95. We've gone down to £4 for this incredible strand. It's got a miss it, miss out vibe from 4:45 instead of 5 PM today. He was annoyed yesterday because I was cheating on him by doing the morning show. Now I've let him down again. I'm letting everybody know the deals you've got. I just did our catchphrase. He's crying. BHGB23, a miss it, miss out deal on your multicoloured laced agate, available right now for £4. So many of you flying in on the phone lines, taking advantage of these deals and adding to your 1 P&P per day. Don't forget, it doesn't end at 5 PM. You don't have to start a new P&P at 5 PM. All day long, you can add as many items to your order for just £2.95. So stay with us. Eleanor and Liam bringing you miss it, miss out deals from 5 PM. Oh yes, I'm so glad. I was going to say, could we bring these, because they go perfectly with the gemstones from the second Designer Inspiration bundle, because it's the same electric blue tone, but this time in your Keshi pearls. Electric blue Keshi pearls here. Now, we were talking about the slight irregularities, letting you know that they were genuine pearls and adding texture to your design. Look at these. These give you that in abundance, because look how much texture you've got on the surface of these Keshi pearls. They're gorgeous. Our Keshi pearls are probably one of our most popular range of pearls here, which sort of highlights to me that when people are creating handmade jewellery, they don't necessarily want perfect rounds, they want those irregularities. It adds texture to the designs and also brings a little bit of authenticity to the fact that you're working with genuine gemstones, because look at these Keshi pearls. Again, classic look because you've got the pearlescence, but perfect for your contemporary and funky designs, I think. The code is HGGP65. They range in size from 10x5 to 16x8. Let's get your price on screen for your electric blue Keshi pearls, $8.95. A ridiculous price point for what is one of our most popular range of pearls here at Jewellery Maker. And whilst we know that gemstones like amethyst and labradorite are sort of voted as our most popular gemstone, I have to say pearls have to be our fastest selling gemstone here. Whenever I've got a strand on air, people just come in, they fly out the door. It must be one of those essential items that people need in their stash. Do you work with a lot of pearls, Maggie?
I enjoy working with pearls, yeah. I think the colours you can get from them are amazing, and the shapes as well. And I think those are great for something that's really different and really funky.
I was thinking that you're creating, like, you know, like a lot of people doing those like chandelier cascading designs where they have differing lengths of chain. Yep. If you hang those off them, because you can get the pearlescence, a little cluster, that'd look nice. See, I've got all the ideas, I just can't do any of it. I'm going to have to watch you more often.
Have you not been on a course yet?
No, I should do, shouldn't I? You know what, I'm quite excited because coming up this year, we're going to be doing introduction to chainmail with Debbie Belford as a sort of design inspiration show or a workshop, something like that. I'm definitely tuning into that.
Brilliant.
I've gone mad with my chainmail, you know. So I find it really therapeutic. I think all crafting in jewellery has that element to it, doesn't it? When you're focused on something. You focus,
and also when you're repeating things as well, you get into a rhythm with it. And
it's almost like a form of meditation, isn't it? Because the repetition just takes your mind off all your problems and you just feel a little bit more relaxed. So there you go. It's a very useful hobby, probably why it's so addictive. HGG P65, your electric blue Keshi pearls, available right now for $8.95. We're going to leave that one with you. And where are we going, sorry? Okay. Oh, really? Okay. So only teens available. In fact, I'll just tell you, 17 have dropped back into stock, didn't quite sell out. So if you were thinking about it and thought, oh, not sure I can stretch to 24, 45, slightly outside my gemstone budget, you've got to speculate to accumulate. This is going to be a money-making strand. We've got 17 left available in stock. Dial now to avoid disappointment. The code is VCDL59. Let's have a look at our launch price for our sterling silver bezeled amethyst. Wow, $24.45. And I'll tell you another thing. In order to bezel these, they would have to have been calibrated sizes of gemstones. So that, again, goes to highlight the quality of the amethyst you're getting here. So many people dialing up again. But you've got to you know, be in it to win it. You can obviously click to buy now on JewelleryMaker.com and take one of the final few strands. We're now down to single figures of availability, I'm being told. And of course, you have got your 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you get them home and they're not everything you hope they will be, you can send them straight back. But I doubt anybody's going to take advantage of that offer. You can add this gorgeous strand of amethyst to your order for $24.45, which so many of you have. The code is VCDL59. Now, I'm afraid that is the end of my Star Buy offers. Maggie's just run off. I'm going to go over here and pretend that I did it. So during the show, even though I've been presenting for us, look at what I've managed to create. I am so talented. Oh, you're back. So how are you? You're right.
I've been rushing things.
Basically, Scott had to go and do my stint on the bike for the charity event. As a result, he never put together a challenge for Maggie. So when he returned at 2, 3 o'clock, he just threw a load of strands at you.
That's it. Yeah,
it's a genuine challenge, though.
It is. Do something with them, yeah.
So yeah, and let's have a look at what Maggie has created whilst she's only had about, well, less than an hour really, because we were with you for an hour of that time. So less than an hour, and she already created a gorgeous set of jewellery. So what did we hand over to Maggie? We give you some beautiful rhodonite, rounds and donuts, white frosted quartz. Oh yeah, look at those.
They're faceted, aren't they? Are they faceted?
Actually,
Would you call them faceted?
Again, it's that technique of giving them the frosting, then actually carving the facets into the surface to make them.
They're gorgeous, aren't they?
A little bit of detailing on them, isn't it? They'd be perfect in like bridal pieces, I think.
Tiaras, yeah.
Gorgeous. So there you are, 260 carats of white frosted quartz with the faceted detailing. I'm gonna say 10 mil in size, $8.95 for those, combined with rhodonite rounds and rhodonite donuts. There you go.
I've taken them off the strings.
Taking all of these off the strings. Let's have a look at what Maggie actually created, because the designs are immense, and I love the way you've interspersed this, because we were talking about the spacer beads, weren't we? The use of those.
Yes, funnily enough, I think I was using them when you were talking about
these are the faceted cubes of rose quartz, rose gold, sorry, and they add lots of warmth, don't they, to your design, but also a little bit of femininity, because you've got that interplay between the pink of the rhodonite and the rose gold there. Absolutely gorgeous design. That's like, you know, we saw those big sort of showcase pieces earlier, but this is something much more achievable, isn't it? And again, you've finished it with a little bit of chain. Yes, you could actually use the figure of 8 there, couldn't you? That you taught us earlier,
yes,
to complete the design.
I haven't put a clasp on it yet because I was trying to get as many pieces done rather than finishing off the clasp. So yeah, but yeah, the figure of 8 would work really well there. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be a nice little bit of detailing to this gorgeous design. And then you can see here on it was snowflake obsidian. Really, it's got lots of lots of pink in it. Beautiful strand of snowflake obsidian. Then I've never seen that before. I've been selling gemstones for nearly 6 years. Never seen these pink tones in snowflake obsidian. Look at those, almost ruby reds in some of them as well. Oh, really exclusive strand there. It's available right now for $6.95. The code is CFGP67. 360 carats in total for $6.95. Can we have one look at how Maggie used the frosted quartz? Because she's actually highlighted the detailing on them by using them in earrings. So I think that little bit of angulation is going to draw attention, because they're going to move on. You know, they're almost going to frame your beautiful face and then attract attention to your jewellery. Not your beautiful face, Director Ben. The beautiful face of Maggie or Eleanor. Eleanor's coming up at 5 PM with the Miss It Miss Out show, so don't tune out. The code is CFGP67 for your multicoloured snowflake obsidian. Never seen this before, and look at this. Gorgeous design. Another design that Maggie's managed to make, and she had less than an hour to work with these. Love these real textured links of chain.
It's lovely, isn't it? Yes.
It's incredible.
And it's got that kind of diamond effect look to it as well.
I like the way you've used the donuts, rhodonites, almost as a bead cap. So the snowflake obsidian. It is in a way, isn't it? It's got that kind of effect to it. So your multicoloured snowflake obsidian, which I've never seen before, new to me, CFGP67, available for $6.95. I'm going to have to love you and leave you at that point. Eleanor is coming up with the Miss It Miss Out show. Thank you so much for your inspiration
Not at all, thanks,
today,
Ed.
Maggie. Do you have fun?
I've enjoyed it. It's been great fun. Thank
Bye.
you.
Tune into Jewellery Maker every day at 5 p.m. from Miss It Miss Out show, where we'll have 4 hours